There we all are. There's our beautiful voices. You missed it. You missed Ari's butt. You missed Ari's butt. I saw it.
Too
Wow.
quick.
It was in the whole screen, and I should have unmuted
Hey,
while you were
extra for
still
that,
sitting down.
baby.
Do they miss Ari's butt?
Are you trying to insinuate that I don't have butt worth missing?
No, I
I
just
take
didn't know
offense to that,
I
sir.
didn't know how intimate they were. Like, but there was, it's better to have butt and lost kind of deal.
Than never to have butt at all.
That's
Never
fair.
to a butt at all. I guess it's my syndrome.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're
If
talking
you say
about the
so,
villain
man.
from The Incredibles, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Once everybody has a butt, no one will.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm your host, Isaac MCCanary. I'm playing Luther Boxton. We're playing more Tabletop. Everyone introduce yourselves.
Oh, I need to. Do we have an order on the screen? I don't have the stream open because I'm bad at video
Kind of.
games.
Hi, my name is Sean, also known as the Talking Skull, he, him, and I'll be our GM for this, our second session of Heart. Why don't we do introductions and also say just like a quick 5 seconds about your character?
Okay.
Ari is next.
Yes, I'm the top guy. I'm Ari. I go by they, he, and she. And I'm playing Raz Gilthoniel, a high elf, dead walker, which is basically somebody who's died already and came back by some mysterious magical means. And I'm just like a spooky, lanky man thing.
How you go?
Lauren, you up?
Okay. I'm Lauren. She, guy. Right.
You might need to
And I'm-
eat your microphone a little more or turn
And
your-
I'm full of bees.
Perfect. Guess I'm gonna just say, yeah, I'm Isaac, I'm Luther Boxton, and I'm a cowboy.
I'm Jackson, playing Larry Centaure, and I like trains.
Hell yeah. You kind of are trains.
Yeah.
You're a big train.
You like trains so
a big
much.
Train.
You became one.
Hmm?
That was the goal.
You decided to damn your soul so hard to the world that you became a train.
You are Tetsuo the Bullet Man.
The bullet train.
Hell yeah.
Well, on that note, to give a brief recap of what we're doing and what the fuck this is, we are playing a tabletop RPG called Heart, the City Beneath, where these 4 weirdos are heading deep into an underground labyrinth called the Heart in search of all manner of weird and spooky things. And when we left our intrepid heroes, they were inside a building called the Tower. And does anyone want to give sort of their impression of the tower here, just to give people an idea of where we're at before we get started?
It's
Sure.
tall.
It is tall.
I can give you a little bit. I've been getting the vibe that this is a sort of, I don't know, like kind of Lotus Eatery kind of place, like a psychological trap that people get caught in. We've gotten people acting weird and like distant and like they don't want to return to their jobs and stuff. And the admin here is, yeah, I mean, yeah. The admin is creepy and seems preoccupied, maybe. Also, there's bees here.
Mm-hmm.
There's bees here. The
Also,
bees
there's
don't like
bees
it here.
The bees don't like it
either.
here. They're trying to rebuild it to be something more bee-like.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much sums it up. Does anybody want to add anything?
Nah, it's tall. It's
Luther
tall.
got in a fist fight.
Luther
It's
did
true.
get in a fist
I
fight.
got into
That
a
is
fist
true.
fight for no reason, and I originally
It
had
was
a
it was a
reason.
very they live kind of fist fight. Like, put the glasses on. No.
Yeah, it totally was that fight from Bailey. Holy shit. That's good.
Mhm.
Okay. Well,
I never
with-
need to watch that movie, or do I?
Damn, dude. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting you hadn't seen it.
you'd like it. It's good.
I know about that scene. It's very
It's
silly.
a good ass goofy time.
Oh yeah, and I was having visions about this place.
Yeah.
It's true. That is one of
This
the
is
things
how
I
we
missed.
kicked off, is that Larry had a vision of a dancing, spinning, bloody,
Drippy.
amorphous thing.
I was gonna say you
Uh,
had a drippy girl dream.
A drippy girl dream, you might say.
Saya no Uta soundtrack unrelated.
Don't worry. Do not peer behind the curtain.
No, do
would
not
never.
listen. This is just some good indie music that we know about. You guys don't need to know where it came from.
YouTube. I don't know who put this together.
Who is Saya?
Goku's sister.
Say
Yeah.
I hardly know her.
Alright.
Got me.
So yes, that is ostensibly what Larry Centaure is here for, and what the thing that drew our party here is that there is this thing that is presumably trapped in the tower somehow, some way. But we do not yet know what it is or what that means. And I want to start with Anthophea and Luther. When we left the two of you, you were in one of the hallways of the tower. The tower, basically, everything above the first floor is like one big hotel. So Anthophea and Luther are currently outside of one of the rooms where they met an apiarist who has requested that you help them sort of take down the tower's leadership from the inside and rebuild it in the image of the hive.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, this apiarist, which I don't know if we gave the apiarist a name.
Broach, I believe. That's what I have. Broche, which I don't know if I spelled it right or if I pronounced it right. So I think it was Broach.
Oh, it's not, but thank you, because that did help my eyes find the thing that I was looking for. It's Brokesh.
So what are you up to, Broach?
So yeah, Brokesh has asked specifically that whatever is powering the tower, they want to repurpose it to sort of use the energy of the tower and the powers of this tower for a different purpose, and a non-specified different purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Just now
So
realizing that I'm an idiot.
Oh.
I just could have taken an advancement, or not an advancement, but
a beat.
a beat, yeah, that is destroying a building, I believe.
No, that's
God
that's
damn
in
it.
competition with my beat, which is to kick somebody off the tower, destroy it after I kick someone off the tower.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say, as
fine.
long
I
as
mean,
they
we-
happen in sequence.
Yeah, exactly. We can create a plan that includes both of these things.
Yeah, collaborate. Yeah.
So
true teamwork.
Anthophea and Luther, you've just wrapped up this conversation with this apiarist, and we're
Mhm.
sort of left to figure out what to do with this mission, should you choose to take it, and what you want your next step to be. There's still a decent amount of the tower you haven't explored. We also left with Thorn, the hound, having been dragged off into some back room on the first floor. And there's like further stuff on these floors, these hotel floors that you haven't seen yet.
Okay. Well, last time I did point this out because I believe you were like, I think we like spoke to Burkesh and he was like, I'm gonna be here for a while. So what I left last time with was I was actually going to stay behind and I was going to use a skill called prepared or skilled, forewarned, and forearmed. And what that is if I have, let me find the exact verbiage for my abilities. Never get into a fight. You can't win once per session. When you have an hour or two to spare in a landmark, you can prepare. You can make preparations for the coming challenges. And there's a couple things that I can pick up to prepare, and I did one for the road. So anyone who helps me make preparations gains the following benefit: gain +1 mind protection until the next landmark, until we enter the next landmark.
Okay, that's going to be a long time. I don't know. Let me read this quickly. When you have an hour or two to spare in a landmark, take part in preparations, gain spin until the next landmark. Interesting. I see what they're going for in terms of how they expect this to be used, and you're going to get more benefit out of this than I think the designers intended, so that's fun.
Lucky!
Cool.
There's a lot of alcohol.
I'm into it. So that does mean you're going to spend an hour in the tower. What do these preparations look like?
So, I was trying to think about that. I do have, like, some... this is more like emergency alcohol. I'm going to say I will probably... I will try to involve Burkesh in this if he wants to try to help me essentially like stockpile essentially like at least some amount of like food, mainly alcohol, if there is any here, because there has to be something of like edibility here that won't make me lose my mind, right?
Brock
Or throw up,
Or throw
as I
up.
did.
I mean, not everybody has the certain special body you have.
Fair.
These are
Brakesh-
magic bees. Can Burkesh help me just make a shit ton of mead?
So that's actually what I was going to say. Is Brakesh nods and says, "I may be able to be of some assistance here. I do not recommend partaking of the particular amenities in this place, but." And they go off into their like little kitchenette area in their room and come back with just a jar, like a mason jar of honey. And they're like, you may be able to use this to assist in preparing whatever it is that you need to prepare.
Well, cheers on that, partner. And I like kind of take it from him, kind of swirl it around and be like, you have any bottles or anything else I can prepare? Mason jars are fine enough if you've got anything like that.
I mean, there certainly. And
you got bees, you got to put honey somewhere.
they go and come back with several more mason jars.
Yeah.
Like, no
What are you
need to
doing?
return them.
Playing this like a Zelda game? Can I get a bottle for my fairy over here?
Uh-huh.
No, this is gonna be guys. I'm making Grandma's special soup from Wind Waker 3, except it's got
All right,
booze
well, if you've
in
got
it.
the recipe for Grandma's soup, then I'll shut my mouth.
So yeah,
he's
I'm literally
just clanking through the halls, just like you hear the classes like hitting each other, just trying to sneak around.
the
Attendants, the like elven attendants are just kind of side eyeing you, like, what are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Judging, but we're slightly judging.
And yeah, no, I'm gonna spend like the next hour like essentially making like a very strong tonic, but it is a tonic to like, for the mind protection. That is just alcohol. It's just alcohol.
Anthe, are you getting faded with Luther? On
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I know that Larry and Roz were up at the top of the tower, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Had
Yeah,
just watched Diana, who was going up to speak to the master, as she said. Is that still where y'all are?
I believe so. Because we both were smelling like something was fishy. As an aside, just to address the beat thing earlier, because you're talking about how your beat was to kick someone off a tower. You could kick me off because I have the oddly specific ability of falling 3 stories without taking damage.
So this is what I love about the beat that Isaac took, though. It specifically says that they have to deserve it. So
Now,
Oh, gotcha.
you better do something that you deserve to be kicked off. I'm here for it, but you have to deserve it. You have to deserve it, Jackson.
I do love the idea of being like, oh, and then hitting the ground and be like, oh.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Diana, when she went back up to speak with the master, there's these great double doors, and she had insinuated that this was sort of the end of like where she could let you follow her, and then slipped through the double doors.
There's no reason why, unless people are gonna stop me, there's no reason why I wouldn't just stand nearby the double doors and kind of be like,
Okay.
can I hear something? Because
Yeah, I'm cool to
it's-
just hang with you, and I'll just like occasionally you see me occasionally like pinch the air in front of me and then like flick something that you can't see, and it's like a thread connecting me to her with the ability I marked her with, to try and like keep an spatial idea of like how many floors or rooms away she is.
Okay. Yeah. The whole time that you're there, she does not leave this next room over.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, because for the most part, it seems like she's really letting us, really letting the leash go pretty far. Like, like she's really letting curiosity take us, and so this is the one thing that she is not letting us do. This is the one door that we're not allowed to cross. So it's like, all right, well, if we can be curious, let's get as close to this door as we can.
Okay.
Let's get dangerous.
Let me think. Trying to decide if there's something I need you to roll here, or if we're just going to deal with this later. Okay, go ahead and roll a... I'll let you roll discern... Go ahead and make it either a discern occult or discern technology roll, whichever you prefer. One of you is going to roll this and get an extra d10 from assistance from the other one.
Gotcha. I would be rolling with 2 dice on discern technology.
Then yeah, you take it because I only have discern.
Well, you'd also be rolling with 2 dice then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after
Right,
the
one and then
assistance.
yeah. I got you.
Well, because you start with 1 and then you have discern, so it'd make it 2.
Yeah.
I don't have discern, but I have technology, so
Right.
it's all the same.
Sure.
Somebody punch it.
Hit it. Smack it.
I roll, you roll?
I'll roll.
Okay.
Let's see, discern technology.
Smack
is
the
So this is a 7. That's a success at a cost.
Well, shouldn't Ross get a 3rd roll from this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you
I
need to
did
take
not
your
add-
+1. I think there's just like a drop down where you can add extra dice.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
So it's also a
same.
7. No higher.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So with a 7 on a mixed success, what I'm going to give you here is what she said is that she was going to speak with the master. What you can say for sure is that nobody in this room is talking, or if they are, it's at an extremely quiet level, like whisper at most.
Okay.
What you do hear is a sort of pulsating hum coming from the other side of this door.
Okay.
And underneath that pulsating hum, you hear what you think might be like her voice humming alongside it.
Okay.
But without the without having more occult knowledge, it's hard to say what that could mean, other than that
Yeah.
seems like she's sort of like almost harmonizing with this hum.
Right. I'm probably coming to the conclusion that it's like she's communing with something that's not necessarily on this dimension, and this is the way in which she like channels that.
As you are listening in on this intently and really just soaking in this sound and trying to let it suffuse through you, let your mind grapple with what you're hearing, you find yourself lulled into almost a sort of trance. And
Pulled into trance music.
and there's about a 5-minute span where you feel like you blacked out.
Okay.
Go ahead and take. Oh shit! 4 mind stress. Roz, why is Roz always the
getting
one?
there. Roz,
I don't
you need
know.
to be the tank,
I
man.
didn't think this was how this was going to happen.
Put yourself more in danger, Larry. You've got
I'm
a
so. Guys, if he rolls and I take my major fallout right now, which is likely, something very bad is going to happen. I just need you all to know that.
What is your stress at total?
10.
10. Oh my god.
Wait, 10 total?
Yeah. This whole operation is officially fucked.
Don't die. Don't die.
I'll try not to, but I might blow this fucking tower up in a minute.
So,
accident.
For everyone else's edification, the Fallout roll is basically us checking to see if something really bad is going to happen. And I roll this on a d12. If I match or exceed our Roz's current stress, then they will take Fallout. That's a 5. Match or under. Sorry, I said that backwards.
Yeah.
So the good news is, since I rolled a 6 or less, you're only going to take minor Fallout. It is based on what I roll, not on your current stress level. So go ahead and clear your mind stress. And you're going to take a Fallout that I have right here.
Wow, you had this planned. You knew.
I mean, I didn't know this is how this would happen, but
you knew.
You're going to take a Fallout called Clouded, which is actually in the book. I'm using my resources.
You did.
Clouded. Your mind starts to shut down in an attempt to protect itself. You can't think straight and sensations are dulled. You cannot gain extra dice from domains ongoing until you can clear your mind.
Ouch. That sucks. All right.
So Roz's mind is shutting down in the attempt to grapple with whatever this hum is that's coming from behind this door.
You've got tinnitus in your brain.
I've only got 2 domains, so it's not like a huge drawback for me, but it still hurts.
Still not great. That means essentially the idea is even if you have the domain, you don't get the benefit. Is that what that means?
Right. As long as they have that Fallout.
Well, that's not that bad. Now you can literally roll for anything. Doesn't matter what the domain is.
Yeah,
Not
you
that
can
bad.
equally suck at everything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that is a silver lining, Isaac. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sarcastic.
Did I see
You're welcome.
Roz pass out for like 5 minutes, or like what is
So
that
Roz
like
didn't pass out so much as just like, if you're really observing them, you notice that at a certain point it's hard to tell because they're just like listening intently, right? And at a certain point, there's maybe a sense that like the intention leaves their eyes for a few minutes and they're just like staring into the middle distance.
Their head
And then
starts
they're
doing.
right back.
Fair, considering how all of my like magic works, I tend to do that kind of thing fairly regularly, so it doesn't probably like
Yeah,
strike
it
you
probably
as odd.
strikes you as similar to other things they would do.
I was gonna
anyway.
say,
Yeah.
if you want something more noticeable, the thing that comes to mind is like you see Roz's head start swaying like this, and then they just hit the door with their head.
No, it's much more just like it's not that they're like dizzy or anything like that. It's just like totally blank, like shutting down.
Error. Blue screen.
And we're going to fast forward since everybody's sort of spending a little time on this. The preparations of this honey tonic are complete, and you each get +1 mind protection for the rest of the for until the next landmark you encounter, which is going to be a while.
And honestly, I kind of envision that to like also give credence to the fact that if like, you know, Ari or Jackson were like, well, can we have some? It took us that whole time to make enough just for like the three of us. So
Yeah. I mean, what? I read the ability. I didn't expect to get anything since I was doing something else. I'm busy going crazy. I don't want your honey tonic.
So
But
go
I
ahead and
do
take
seem
your
to just
+1
be
to mind.
sipping this the whole time. You just see me with a mason jar just be like,
Sure.
Go ahead and take your +1 to mind protection, and it is going to immediately be relevant because I'm going to need everyone to roll a standard. Let me remember what roll I said this was in my brain.
okay.
Endure plus occult roll.
Ooh, I don't do good at either of those.
You say everyone, or
Yep.
And this is just standard?
This is gonna go
Yep.
horribly.
Here we
so
go. So scared.
Critical
Ooh.
success from Roz. The turn of the page.
Hell
Roz
yeah.
has had enough of this. Now, how bad did I do? Because I was clicked off of it. Not
That was
great.
4 for Lether.
That's, oh boy, the page has turned because last time I had that stank, so I think this time I'm gonna get hurt real bad.
And I think that's just Anthe left. I know that you've got special sauce on your mind protection, but go ahead and get me an endurance roll, and we'll just see what comes of that.
Oh, that's a fair. So wait, with that +1 mind
No,
protection.
I accidentally just gave away what the next thing is about to be. The result of this roll.
Fuck, spoilers, Sean. You're not supposed to tell me that.
That just 2d6.
It's 2d10. Well, if you've got an Endure or occult. If you're using the Roll20 character sheet, it should have the things there that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on the top of the second column.
See, that's what I thought.
I'm actually trying to remember how. So does protection give you DR or?
Yes, it's going to be DR to any mind stress you would take.
Gotcha.
Okay, I see.
I understand.
You begin to understand.
Yes.
Jesus, Isaac, that's huge.
Thank you.
You're hydrated as fuck.
This is what Hydrate Man actually looks like, everyone.
Mm,
And
Yeah,
Hydrate Bot,
damn.
for
that
that
makes
matter.
sense.
That's why he's always ready for Hydrate Man.
Mhm.
Makes
So Roz and Anthe, I'm gonna handle these separately because I think this goes down in separate ways.
Yeah,
Roz, you
that makes
feel as this like hour expires of listening, you feel a jolt and you realize that like you've been in sync with this hum for a good 30 minutes now and realize, oh shit, that was dangerous. I need to stop. Like I need to disconnect from this. And are sort of starting to feel there's an undertone, a vibe, if you will, to this whole place that is a little hard to place, but you're starting to sort of feel how exactly wrong it is.
sure.
Anthe, over the course of this hour, as you're preparing this honey tonic, you you get this sensation in the back of your mind over the course of that time of just like agitated buzzing, and you almost feel like you're getting a little bit of a headache just being in this place. And you suffer no ill effect from it other than you feel like this place is trying to harm you somehow.
You can
Okay.
feel all the bees in your head playing Space Invaders for all the
Yes.
unsightly ideas.
Yes. And for Larry and Luther,
May I
The new
coordinate?
humans!
May I coordinate with you
L
what the
named.
sensation feels like?
okay.
I would say go ahead and describe it, but at some point, that headache or that humming is silenced, and instead, the humming is replaced with a beat of the heart, like the resonance of the
Ooh.
heart.
Okay,
Away-
hold on. Yes, I see where you're going with this. I love this. Let me take over. Okay. So I'm gonna get Luther first because Luther's is simpler.
Because I'm simple.
Well, it's because I think you'll see why. Okay, so Luther, you're preparing this mead, and over the time that you're doing it, it's sort of like a Zen activity, right? Like it's a lengthy preparation that's not like taxing. You just gotta kind of go through it.
Mhm.
And you're starting to feel really calm and at ease. And by the time the tonic is ready, you subconsciously just put it down and start to walk away. And it takes you a moment, a half a step, and you realize, wait, why did I just do that? Right? Like I needed to drink that. That's the whole reason I made this. And you go back and drink it, but something is happening in your mind. You feel almost too at ease. You absolutely feel like whatever's happening here is actually pretty good. And you take 2 mind stress.
Except it's only one mind.
Yes, it is.
Ow, my brain.
Ow, my brain, indeed.
Ow,
So
my
Luther, you I assume that what you're getting at is that you're redirecting this to Echo.
I am, yes.
Okay. So Luther has an ability that they can redirect any incoming stress to Echo instead of whatever it's supposed to go to. So this is what this looks like for you. You feel that sensation as you were just like passively listening, sort of watching Roz. You feel that same sort of calm taking over, you feel that sense of like, man, maybe things really are all right. Like, I don't hear any conspiratorial whispering. I don't see anything going wrong. Like, maybe this place is all right. And then in your mind, there is a scream and just a flash that comes with a pulse, like a heartbeat, of that thing, that amorphous thing you saw in your vision, still struggling against its chains in this tower. And you realize that whatever has called you here still needs your help, and you haven't found it yet. And you take 1 echo stress because you got a mixed success.
Nice. I assume protection does nothing for that.
Yeah, if you have echo protection, it does. Echo protection is DR.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep, I've got echo protection.
So that eats that for you. Isaac, I do hate to do it to you, but what is your total stress right now?
2.
Okay.
1 mind, 1 fortune.
You're good.
Okay.
Roz is fated to be the only one who's allowed to get hurt in this game.
Hey,
It's
I'm
fine by me.
I'm
I've already
right
been
behind.
dead. What's the worst that could happen?
Uh-huh.
So Larry, you have just had this flash that sort of shocked you out of this lull that you were being lulled into. What do you do?
At that point, I think Roz is still within. I think we're still nearby the door, and Roz is. We're within arm's reach. I grab Roz's shoulder and say, sorry, I knew what I was going to say a moment before I started. Yeah, I grab and say, we still have something to do.
Indeed.
They have someone. We need to get them.
Well, whatever's in there isn't good.
How do we get in there?
I try the handle.
It's locked. Honestly,
It's
fair.
locked.
Had to try. Well,
Maybe we finish exploring here. Grab the others.
yes, I have a way we could get inside, but it would be a leap of faith for all of you, I think.
I'm good with those.
Don't worry
We
about
can
that.
discuss it once we're all together.
Okay.
Okay, you reconvene. Luther and Antiphe have just finished preparing and drinking this honey tonic when y'all arrive downstairs to meet them.
Yeah. Like after I had that like moment of like pause, like I took it like I picked it back up and I like take a drink and I still feel that way. I take a second drink and just shake my head really hard and just say, "Okay. Let's go find the others. Let's see if they've made any progress. Let's I take another swig and just cap it and trudge out the door.
What's with you?
All right.
You're okay there? The drink?
We're not there yet. I'm not there yet. I just left the
Oh,
room.
sorry. Never mind.
It's just right outside the door.
Our scene.
Oh, whoops.
I just step out. I step out of the door, and then immediately I'm just faced with Larry being like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh God!"
I love that.
Why do you guys both seem drunk?
No reason, baby.
Or raisin.
Oh, raisin.
I guess my mind was already in the next scene. I was like, yeah, we're all together. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you all meet up. What's your
We
plan?
walk in the door and I'm in the mid conversation. Are you sure you don't hear it? The humming? It's so loud. Okay.
Only for a second.
All right.
What are y'all talking about? Humming?
Do either of you hear a very loud humming?
Currently, no.
I hear a buzzing, but I'm guessing it's
think
not the
that's-
same thing
I
you're
don't
hearing.
know what you're talking
Probably.
about. I feel fine.
Wonderful.
Couldn't feel better, honestly.
Well, we don't know what you've been up to, but there's something very sinister in the very top floor of this tower.
You guys checked it out?
Well,
Not
we
yet.
couldn't get in, and the only idea that I had involves temporarily killing all of your corporeal bodies. So we can say that's probably a plan B. If anyone can pick locks,
I'll
we might start
Does-
there.
think of a few more plans.
Does
in
it seem to
between,
be a
but
standard lock?
bee powers.
I don't know.
Your bees have tiny little hands.
Something like that. I can deform and reform myself on the other side of a small gap.
That is true.
It takes upwards of 6 hours, but we have that option.
We'll call that Plan B. The other one, Plan C.
I
think we need a better plan
It's gonna
A.
be great.
I do like his plan B better than your plan B. But we do need a better plan A.
I have a big shield.
Let me think.
Oh,
Let me
that-
think.
I don't know if I want to go
Is
knocking.
I was about to ask, are you insinuating that your plan is to just trudge through the door, which I'm not opposed to.
Call it plan A.5. There's probably a smarter
Plan
way.
A.5 is to burst the door open with the very large train man.
What about these? And I just, with a flick of my hand, pull out a feather token to Luxian, the Duke of Air. I don't know. Does this look like anything that you could use, Roz? I don't know much about magic or voodoo or.
Let me look at them. Do they look magical in nature?
I hand one of them to Roz.
Do I recognize
trinket,
what this is?
It's a
Or-
trinket. Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
trinket. I'm gonna imagine it's a. If it's like it is like a. It's a coin that's about yay big, about the size of $50. It's got a feather etched onto it on one side, and it has the Duke's face on the other. Just in profile, Washington style.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the Duke of Air. I don't know. Maybe he'll help you open the door.
I think back. Was the door just like a simple, basic lock?
It was a
door?
double doors.
Yeah, it was like a big ornate double door. It had sort of, the kind of old timey lock that would have the big giant key to go.
Yeah.
It had like that kind of lock.
Cool. I'm not built for that at all.
Perfect.
The thing I was like, if this is some future door, then maybe I could lean into
Right.
technology. But
No, it seems like everything that's technology domain is on the other side of that door.
yeah,
Do we want to risk waiting for 6 hours? You said 6 hours. 5 hours?
6 hours.
6
I mean,
hours
we can stand guard
at least.
that
and
is
try and. I mean, I can.
You think you can buy me 6 hours?
I do know where the what was her
Diana.
Diana. I do know where Diana is at all times until she dies.
That could happen in 6 hours. You don't know.
I'll flick the thread again to get like an idea of where she is in the tower. Is she still up there?
She is.
So this may be an issue with Anthophae's plan. She is just inside the room that we're trying to get in. So she'd probably see you doing this.
there are
At
two-
some point, it becomes a pretty conspicuous process. That's true.
I would imagine.
Do you have to be
We'll
near?
basically have
You
to
could try
rebuild me
doing
out of
this.
paper.
I was gonna say you could try starting this process in Broke's room.
Brokesh.
Brokesh.
Gosh.
Not great with names. I'm sorry. You could try
It's
starting
fine.
in Brakesh's room. Do you have to be here to do it?
starting broke
I-
Mountain's room.
That's less the problem, and the more the problem is that no matter where she starts, where she's ending up is on the other side of the door that has a person that we don't want to see them.
There's two things we might be able to do,
Indeed.
and along with this, I like the idea of standing guard. So the funny thing is that if the door opens at any point, it's a non-issue. We just force our way in. So we're basically puppy guarding this door until they have to come out. The other thing is that we haven't explored the rest of the tower. There might be a way to climb, maybe from another wing or from a balcony or something like that. So we may be able to do this externally as well.
Are you certain you can climb all that well with that much of a train attached to you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
But I can...
We'll call that Plan C and mine Plan D.
What if we each have a different plan? Because I don't mind that idea. I do have all the...
I suppose we could take some time to explore the tower and see if we can find any new inroads.
It is true. If someone, I'm heavy, can somehow scale and get inside and open the door from the other side, that is extremely risky sounding, but that would get the rest of us in.
True.
I'm mostly not scared of heights.
I'm also not scared of heights, but for different reasons.
Yes. If we do decide we're scaling the outside, I can turn all the lights off on the inside when I get in to give me some more time to unlock the door before she notices.
That could be useful. That could be
so
very
it's
useful.
A race. Thank you. I saw that, Sean, and I was like, is that
I had to reread it a couple of times to be sure.
I was like, at worst, I was like, okay, buddy, bye. Thank you, Sean.
The name is the giveaway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't worry about it.
Dude, it's my favorite viewer.
The AI generated ass name. Okay. So where are we landing here?
Are we gonna take some time to explore more, or?
I'm fine exploring, but
yeah,
at the same
it
time,
couldn't hurt. I could go into the dimension that I was proposing to take you all into and see if there's even a way in on that other side. That's not a guarantee either. That would take me an hour or two.
Gotcha.
At this point, I have no concern for, because I think when we first arrived, I wanted to be inconspicuous, but I think at this point, having gained certainty that you're still holding something, someone, and hiding it and inflicting and trying to hurt us, there's no reason to be shy anymore. I'm happy to storm through these rooms as quickly as I can.
Well, we don't necessarily want to blow our cover before we have a more definitive idea of where this person is.
On that, as if on cue, an attendant walks into the room and says, "Oh, did you all need anything? I noticed you haven't taken part of any of our amenities recently."
I just hold up my mason. I held up my mason jar and shake and go, I found a wonderful drink on my own. Thank you so much.
I hold up an empty mason jar and say, I'm good, thanks.
I want tea to drink.
I will gladly prepare you some tea.
Thank you.
Just a moment, and they slip away.
Goodbye. I'm not drinking that.
I was gonna say, I was like, I think part of me would have tried to say something before, but actually now I'm gonna say my character doesn't actually respond to you saying that you want some tea.
All right.
Don't give me that look, Sean. But I just say, well, we want to try to look for entry points. The first place that I can think of is I can try going up a floor, see if I can't get above. And I mean, I've got a little bit of spare rope from having to do the repairs on the way here, so if I can't just shoot on through a window or something, I don't know.
Rope.
That's my idea.
That is a good idea.
I click the buckle on the crest of my armor, and hundreds of belt buckles unclasp, leaving me almost nude. And I say, I'll see you all in a couple of hours.
That's saying tomorrow. Where did you get here?
No, I have a Valdo button, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so Roz is performing their ritual, and the rest of you are going up a floor or a couple of floors to look around?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will. I'll be dead set on going on up just a floor, and I will say, I don't posit to anyone whether or not we split up or not. I just am doing it, kind of on
Yeah.
a little bit on autopilot.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine going full steam ahead.
Okay. So just to make sure that I don't like railroad you guys here, what so you're looking for what exactly? Like a window?
Essentially, I want to try to go up a floor, like a floor above whatever this room is, and see if I can't essentially get a floor above this room to get in there and see if I can't get a window out. Yeah, down below.
Okay, so a window.
So yeah, a window, a balcony, or hidden passages to be able to try to some unintended path.
Gotta remember,
Gotcha.
when you're inside a house you can't get through, you gotta find the hidden passages if they're available.
A weak wall, perhaps, as well.
Are there any walls
Okay.
with conspicuous cracks on them that make a weird noise when you hit them with a sword?
Yeah.
So I will point out, you actually know already that there are, well, you might not know. Luther and Antiphe know already that there are hidden walls in this place because last session y'all saw one of the attendants go through one when they were preparing the like feasts.
Oh yeah.
So there are definitely like trick walls that the attendants can go in and out of.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going a floor up. As you're sort of crossing through the halls, because again, this most of the floors are these like hallways that go around in a big arc that mostly have like rooms, like hotel rooms along the outside. But as you're walking and looking for sort of a way you can get out to like the outer edge of the tower, you come across what appears to be a sort of rec room. And you see a couple of people you don't recognize, seemingly residents of the tower. You also see Demethon, the chronicler that y'all saved last time. And Demethon appears to be just completely blitzed. He's got like 3 bottles of alcohol just like laying near him. He's carrying a 4th. He's slurring his words and like staggering around the room. And as soon as he sees y'all, he approaches you and he's like, "Oh yes, this is my favorite people.
God
Please
damn,
come join
Demethon.
me for a game of pool. You never believe these people are incredible. They play like 2 times a week." And he's gesturing to these other 2 people in the room who are a sort of middle-aged man who's wearing just sort of a simple like button-down sort of like kind of nice outfit but nothing fancy, and a woman with this bright like red orange hair, just like a massive curly red orange hair, and a sort of tattered dress. And Demethon sort of gestures vaguely at them and says, "Oh, they're so excellent at this game. Never believe how much fun we're having." Notably, there are windows in this room.
I pick up one of the bottles that they're drinking and I just smell it.
It smells really good. It smells like what's a very comforting alcoholic beverage?
Cognac.
It smells like cognac. It smells like
Mead.
really good cognac.
More mead. It's all mead. Shit.
It's mead.
I was gonna say, actually,
That's also true.
actually, probably don't need more meat.
But yeah, so it smells like really,
Mead
really
is
nice cognac.
Nice.
I shake my head and sip some more of my mead.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at your. I almost grab your hand but I lean in and say, "Don't take it."
I just make that noise. I just go, I'm.
Please, everyone, don't all clamor at once. And he like starts staggering over and like drunkenly pushing the other two towards you. Relax and third order. And the sort of middle-aged man nods curtly and says, yes, my name is David. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll just be over here, please, and thank you. And he goes back to a book he appears to have been reading. And the woman holds her hand out to you, Larry, for a handshake, and says, I have a name.
Wow, what an interesting name.
I have a name, and it is.
I have a name. Is that like French?
Yeah, it's only about 5 letters long, it's only like.
Actually, it's only
No,
4
no.
letters long, so that's how you know it's an important character.
And most of the letters are silent.
She says, my name is Yosefa. It's a pleasure to meet you. And she holds her hand out for a handshake.
A pleasure to meet you too.
As you shake her hand and look into her eyes, you realize that there are what look like specks of gold, just like all throughout the iris of her eye. And you feel your heart pound twice. And she takes her hand back and says, what brings some people like you around here? It's not every day we get new visitors.
I'm going to... I don't address anyone. I'm just going to walk over to the window to start inspecting it.
Yeah, you can open it. There's not like there's nothing on the other side in terms of like there's no bars or like any kind of netting or anything. It's just like you can sort of crank the window open and lean out. There do appear to be like ledges and stuff. There's not a balcony per se, but it is conceivably scalable.
So like at this point, Luther's going to the window. I would say that I'm like there's the two of them, if I understand, because there's the 2 people in the room and then there's us.
Yeah, there's a total of 6 people in the room right now.
6 people in the room. Okay.
There's Demothon and these 2 new people and the 3 of you.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Santa Fe has gone somewhere to do something else. But I assume it's all of us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So in that case, I'll move back towards the door, and I guess when the person with the golden eyes, do I understand what sensation that was? Was that like? Do I understand that my heart beats twice? Like, was that fear, or was that oh lordy, she's cute and makes my heart beat, or
I will say it is a feeling of like longing that you have felt in your visions before.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
My instinct from having that, like, just physical reaction is to look away. So the first thing I did was avert my eyes. Like she said that, and I just kind of look up in a different direction while I'm just trying to figure out what I say to this person. But I move towards the door and start speaking a little bit louder. And I'm still talking to her, but I'm trying to project a little bit more and say, I'm sorry, what were you asking me?
Divert thine eyes.
I was just asking what brought you here. I mean, you look like a whole band of something or other. I guess I couldn't say what. Your whole armor situation is really incredible. I would love to get a closer look at it.
I have my body like halfway sticking out the window, by the way, as I'm looking up, down, and around, and I just interrupt and say,
1 foot in the air.
Yeah, and you just hear me from the window again, not addressing the conversation. Interrupt, saying, "No balconies. Might be a way down. It's a little bit narrow. You might
I
have a
will
hard
remind
time
you,
getting
you're
down there,
trying,
Larry."
if you're trying to get to the room that Diana is in, you are trying to go up to the top of the tower.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, it looks like I need to go to the. Then I'm looking up, and I'm like, "No balconies or any way to get up there. Sounds like we'll have to get to the roof at best. You think there's
Isaac
any
got
roof
all
access?"
hyped to
Rappel down.
yeah, do the whole Metal Gear Solid rappelling scene.
You're not gonna stop me. I'm gonna find the roof. We're going to the roof. I'm going to the roof, and no one. People can follow me, but I'm going to the roof.
This has disaster written all over it.
For just a
Look at
moment,
it this
I
way,
thought,
Ari. What if somebody's up there and I can kick them off?
That's true.
that's a good point.
You got to make sure they deserve it before when you're in the seconds that the two of you are scrambling to the top of this tower.
What if I do something awful and then kick
Yeah.
myself off of the tower?
Interesting. Now,
Jesus
the
Christ.
physicality of landing a kick on your own body is going to be interesting to
It's
conceive
some-
of.
Yeah, it's some Charlie Chaplin
Yeah.
shit.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I
And
wouldn't
have
dispute that you would
have a
deserve
safe
it at
walk.
that point, probably.
Yeah, true. If you were to,
Probably.
it almost is self-fulfilling. If you kick yourself off a tower, you automatically deserve it.
That's true.
If you kick yourself off a tower, do you deserve it?
Yeah.
All right.
You were a bad man to yourself.
Yeah, it's not being a good steward of God's gifts.
Well, I'm glad that I'm a gift from God.
So I realize now that what I was doing was being foolish because I thought
Okay.
he was trying to. I thought he might have been trying to do this like inconspicuously. So the
Oh,
fact
no.
that he was just like started telling us
No.
Well-
I mean, like, where my character is right now is they know something is wrong,
like,
but I'm trying to really lean into that he's actually struggling to figure it out. So he's just trying to stay focused on something and literally
thought we were-
ignore everything that he can.
gotcha. I thought we were
But
trying to
he's
keep it from
struggling
these,
with it.
from these other two people.
Because I was gonna like play it cool, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I mean,
My
the good news
character-
is there are currently no attendants in this room. Currently.
It is not subtle. My character is like, his way of coping with this right now is literally just being like, I just need to focus on what we have at hand, and I cannot get distracted because there's a problem, and that's all I need to focus on. You know, he's very much more concerned with, he knows something is up and doesn't want it to get in his head any more than it already has, and is kind of caught on that right now. He's actually stuck on it.
Yeah. So I start to calm down a little bit from my performance I was in the middle of showing. I do follow through and say the same thing, but I stop being as boisterous. So what I started to say was, "Oh, this whole thing," and I pull the shield around, and I do meet her gaze again. This is a lady, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I do meet her gaze again because I am curious about her golden eyes.
Yeah, she's got these flecks of gold that almost seem to swim through her irises as you meet her gaze. And she reaches out and says, "Do you mind if I..." And like reaching out toward your shield. Not like with a grabbing motion, but just like with a like reaching out to touch it.
Yeah, I seem noticeably defensive about it, but I say this is a cherished thing. Sure, yes.
Well, I'll treat it gently. And she runs her fingers along some of the grooves and says, "This is some incredible craftsmanship. Where, And she seems to think better of her question and says, "What was I thinking? Anyway, we have some lovely game of pool here if you can get past Demathon's drunkenness."
It is. I look over to him and thought, it's not pleasant.
Well, I'm sure he'll sleep it off later.
The church, by the way. This is all from the church.
What kind of church? There are many churches, I presume, from the moon beneath, though it doesn't look like their work to me.
The Church of the Heart of Remission. We are a curious, recent upbringing that we have been given journals and scriptures from various delves, and with the goal of once again reviving the remission stations.
And as you say that, as you're talking about the Heart of Remission, you notice she stops completely. Like, almost, in fact, you recognize the same sort of expression cross her face that you saw on Roz's earlier, when Roz blacked out. And there is a moment where she is just completely still as a statue as you're talking, and you hear in the back of your mind that scream again, and then she snaps back into it and responds, wow, I haven't heard of the Heart of Remission Church. That sounds like a wonderful mission.
Thank you. We believe that we can bring these together. Are you okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you believe that I've, well, I wouldn't say I've seen the heart exactly, but
Go
well,
on.
she gives the like knowing gesture and says, maybe we should talk later. And then goes back to the game of pool and
I will
steps
join
over Demethon, who at this point is just sitting on the floor with a pool stick, twirling it.
you.
And in that moment, you probably see me walk out the door.
I will join you later, Luther. I will play this game of pool.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Antiphe, the bees hate this room.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be a
They're-
description of a
More
lot of
than,
things, isn't it?
Than other rooms.
Not more than the feast that you tried to eat, but it
Okay.
feels like anytime you get close to anything in this room, there's the pool table, there's the like shelf of drinks, there's like a bookshelf. Anytime you get close to any of those things, the bees just get really agitated.
Okay. Hmm.
I think it'll just become a mainstay that we
Well.
always get a reading on the bees. What's the bees read?
Yeah, how the bees are doing is how I'm doing. So, you know. So you said there's 3 people in here?
Yep, there's Demethon, who is drunkenly twirling a pole cue. There is this people that I named.
It's true. I don't know the guy's name.
Yosefa and David are also in here. David is reading his book, and Yosefa is resetting the pool table.
Okay. We haven't met David yet, have we?
Not really. He
introduced
sort of
himself.
curtly introduced himself and then went back to his book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's he reading?
He is reading a he's reading historical fiction about a like ancient drow war. But it's like historical fiction, so it's
Oh, okay.
you know, it's like almost Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer level of like loosely based, you know.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a wild
Okay.
mix, honestly. I love the idea of historical fiction in a fantasy setting. That's some Skyrim bullshit.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, one of the things I have with me, I think, is like some ashy sort of pulpy fantasy novels.
I mean, if people didn't have things to fantasize about, then they wouldn't go into the heart at all.
That's true.
That's true. I'm gonna go up to him and ask what brings you here.
He lowers his book, and he really seems to think about that question. And after a pause, he says, I haven't thought about that in a long time. I can't say I recall. Funny that. And then he lifts his
How
book
long have you
again.
been here?
Oh,
How?
he puts the book down, and his eyes sort of scan the room, and you see them sort of land on the windows, which lead to, I should remind everyone, a dark cavern. This is not like, you're not looking out into sunlight. This is just sort of a dingy, dark cavern outside. And he says, well, you know how it is. It's hard to really gauge time down here, but... And he looks down at his hands. I remember being younger once.
Mm. Before you came to the heart, or before you came to this tower?
I seem to remember that I was a younger man when I came here. But
I see.
can't say how long ago that would have been. Terribly sorry, my memory seems to be somewhat failing me now.
It's understandable. Seems to be some of that going around here.
I'm
Are these
sure
your
it's
friends?
just hard touring its wonderful secrets. Oh, these, this fellow has only just arrived today, but, yes, Josefa, she's been here a couple of weeks, and she is quite good company. She knows how to hold a conversation, and she knows when not to.
Is that a hint?
No, I'm so sorry for my rudeness. I didn't mean to imply. So, are you all just getting settled in? Are you here to stay? Most people are.
Not here. Passing through. We're trying to learn a little more about this place.
A vexing puzzle, the many secrets of this Tower of Pleasures. I've always wondered how it runs. I mean, we don't pay to stay here. Surely they must have some way of keeping the place going.
Curious about that as well. We saw somebody disappear earlier. Have you seen anything like that?
In a puff of smoke? I can't say I have.
Or they were more taken away by some of the attendants here.
That does sound quite unusual. I can't remember the last time there was any kind of disturbance here. Everyone gets along famously.
I see. Do you know anything about Diana?
Go ahead and roll a discern Haven check here to try and dig more information out of this conversation, because I think we've hit about the limit of what he could definitely tell you.
Okay.
So trying to pry more out of him, I think, is going to take a little bit of doing.
Okay. Let's see. If I have discern, I just do mastery.
Yeah, so if you have discern, then you get an extra die. If you have Haven, then you get an extra die.
Okay. Wait, do I have Haven? No. Roll 20. Do it.
Oops, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Okay, so Here's what we get. That's what you get when you let your heart in. Whoa.
That's what you get when you let your heart out.
Uh, uh,
Well, that's odd. Why don't I get words on those? Huh.
words.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that's. I just saw your roll 20 and it has like all the words and everything, but mine doesn't show that. That's odd.
Oh, I don't know.
That's-
I'm sure there's a setting somewhere.
That's fun. Something's broken.
Go ahead and take. Go ahead and take 3 fortune stress.
Okay.
And what's your total stress at now? 3.
3.
Yeah, okay. So, oh shit, I did roll a 3. So okay, you're gonna take minor fortune fallout. So let me pull up the fallout list here. See, I have an idea in mind of what's gonna happen here, but I want to see if there's a good one that I can pull.
Oh boy.
So the way that fallout works
Okay.
is if I rolled equal to or below yours, then you're going to take fallout equal to or below your stress. And if that roll was a 6 or lower, then it's minor fallout. If it's a 7 or higher, then it's major fallout. So minor fallout is not
Okay.
as bad.
Glitched is silly.
Glitched.
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's an echo stress though. That is very fun. I like the echo stress a lot.
That's my goal. I'm pretty much pointed everything. Like, I think my goal and one of my beats at some point will be to get some echo fallout.
You're not gonna make this a glitchless run though. You're gonna mess up the code and end up getting the ending for Mario 64 by putting in all those funny little inputs, Jackson.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
even
this
gonna
is,
beat the game correctly. You're gonna beat a different game.
Yeah, this is hard percent arbitrary code execute. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm kicking myself for not having taken the minor beat of taking mind stress
Oh yeah.
or mind fallout.
That's fair.
We wah.
I almost took an ability that gave me fortune like protection. So I hear you.
See, my protection is I just put it all into fortune.
We're gonna get in trouble.
Oh boy.
That's correct.
Good. We like to hear that.
It's fun getting into trouble. I've heard.
It's so fun.
Getting into trouble.
Roz, you are halfway through your ritual because it takes a while for this to.
It takes an
come
hour.
off. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're like halfway through your ritual when you notice your thread tugging slightly.
Okay. Good to know. I guess, but I can't really do much of anything with that information, so I'm going to continue on with my ritual.
Okay, I figured. As you are having this conversation with David, Diana steps into the room, almost like as you are asking about her, and she says,
Did she pass me?
you had left like a minute ago, right? Yeah, sure. You pass her in the hallway. She's like on a mission. She is power walking.
I start rushing to the roof as soon as I see her.
Ooh, okay. Like just going up the stairs?
Yes. As soon as she passes me, I pick up my pace.
Okay. We will pick up on that here in a minute. Diana walks into the room, this rec room, and says, well, I'm glad that everyone here is getting along, but I have to say we need to clean this place up, Demathon. You've left a bit of a mess here for us, gesturing at the pitifully not a mess 3 bottles. And she starts like grabbing you and David and like pulling you out of the room.
Oh, okay.
Are you going along with it or
trouble?
no?
He grabs you by your ear.
Wait, I'm sorry. What's going on? Is there a problem?
Oh, no problem at all. We strive to maintain the most pleasant facilities possible for the happiness of our guests. We just have a little bit of cleaning up, a little bit of maintenance to do. David, if you don't mind, please going to your room for just a few minutes. And she touches him gently on the shoulder when she says that, and he, as though a switch was flipped, he just says, "Yes, ma'am," and walks away and doesn't even look at you a second time. And then she turns to
Okay.
you and says, "Now, what exactly is it that you are digging for here?" Oh, did you not think that I would know? Do you not think that I monitor everything that goes on in these halls?
I'm just interested in learning more about this place.
Yes. Like I'm sure your little friend is interested in cutting off their room.
My little friend.
Yes, your little bee friend. What's their name? Can never remember. Quite an antisocial one, that.
Is that a crime?
Not a crime. I would like to know what it is exactly that you all are digging for here, though, because you see, it is beginning to quite upset our guests. This is not the first incident, you may recall, since you have joined our little group, and I am starting to get a bit annoyed.
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. We're just passing through.
Are
We
you?
want to know. We'd like to know the nature of the place we're about to stay. You know, not everywhere down here is that safe.
Well, you
Just
could have
doing
just
our due
asked me.
diligence.
If you'd like, I'd be happy to show you a bit about what we do here and how we maintain the tower in its state that it is.
Can I bring my friends?
She considers that for a moment and then says, "Please bring anyone you would like."
Well, I'm not there.
Yeah,
I mean, none of us are there.
at this point, you're on your own in the hallway, but Larry is close by in the room still, unless you've come out with them.
I'm very interested in GoldenEye Girl, but as I start to hear this go on, I look to her and I say, "I will be back."
And as you're walking away, Josepha says, "I never see Diana so upset."
I do turn around and I say, and I don't want to leave her. I don't want to leave and Antifa hanging for long. I do turn around and say, "What's going on? Do you know? Is there something about Diana?"
I don't have a clue. She's just usually so calm and, I don't know, pleasant to talk to. I've never seen her upset like this.
Let's see.
She's a wonderful host.
We might just.
And you feel your heart thump twice.
We might just be the unpleasant ones.
I hope not. I would love to get to know you a little better.
I feel the same. I feel a connection.
That's very romantic, but well, we'll talk later.
Yes.
Ouch.
I didn't.
That's icy.
I started walking. I mutter as I walk away. It's like I didn't mean connection. Try to catch a.
What does she think I am? Gay?
So Larry walks up as you and Diana are speaking of whether you can bring anyone else or not. Please be my guests. You are all welcome to join if you would like.
Thank you.
What do you think, Larry?
I think it's.
hate for the
appropriate.
group to get separated.
If
Like I said, I am curious.
I'm very curious. Yeah. Is this right now? Can I go grab them, or are you leaving right this moment?
I'm in no hurry.
Oh.
I must request that you please not badger our guests about their pasts, though. Some of these people have had quite unpleasant things happen to them before they arrived here, and some of them have come here to forget.
I didn't mean to
See?
badger it.
I'm very
I
much
just
in
wanted
a
to
hurry.
make polite conversation.
Yeah, I was just having very awkward and slightly uncomfortable small talk with somebody, but I did not mean to offend.
And bless your heart.
Thank you. I'll go see if I can find our friends.
I'm
Luther,
exactly where you left me.
yeah, Roz is easy to find. Luther, you reach the top of the staircase and are confronted with these big double doors.
Is there any roof access at all? At all? I'm looking for it.
I'll say there's another window here. It begs the question of why there are windows here. Like, what is this tower got windows for? Because they do again overlook just darkness.
Mm-hmm. I see if I can open a window, and I look carefully. Like, look left, look right. How much clearance do I have for, like, getting out the window and getting onto a ledge?
You can definitely get out the window and onto a ledge. You are going to be in danger of falling quite a ways down if you do. So I will say you can get out onto the ledge, but doing anything other than getting right back in is going to be a risky roll.
I was gonna say, can I take, like, supply stress or something to, like, just... I do think I have some leftover rope to try to tie myself to the windowsill or something. Like, just something, because I'm not that dumb. I'm not gonna jump out there with at least, hopefully, some kind of safety thing.
Yeah, so you can totally, like, try to tie yourself to the window here, and that might reduce the risk. But, you know, no, I think we're stretching the limits of how much rope you do or don't have a little bit, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think that'll work to reduce this down to a standard roll.
Okay.
So you're able to get out onto the window and you're tied off. And you are having to, like, press yourself up against the edge of this tower. Because again, you're just, like, on a ledge, like a lip. But this tower is sort of rough hewn, and there's, like, juts and things you can use for handholds and stuff. So you feel like you could climb up and down this tower. It would be a Delve Haven roll to do it.
Okay. Ooh, I'm in luck. Because, yeah, I would... essentially, my goal is, like, just to get to the next nearest window. I assume I don't have enough rope to really, like, do any exploring. I'm just trying to get to the next window over at best. Like, that's all I'm trying to do.
Totally.
So
you are still scaling a wall, though. So that is going to be a Delve Haven roll. It'll be standard difficulty because of that rope, but
okay.
But yeah.
Ooh, baby.
That's a success.
Yeah.
Okay. So Luther rolled a 9 to scale the side of this wall. So you shimmy along this wall, you feel your way out, you're careful, you know, you've got the rope, you're taking your time, and you shimmy and reach and grab and carefully make your way around the edge of this tower to the next window over, which, as you peer along, you see into the room on the other side of the large double doors. And inside, you see a massive metal thing. From the angle you're at, it's hard to tell really what it is, but it's some kind of mess of like angles and metal plates and tubes and wires, and these wires and tubes are spreading out from this thing along the walls and into like recesses in the walls off to who knows where. And this machine, this thing, is humming, pulsing, and you see Diana sitting in front of it with this sort of altar that is full of all kinds of charms and totems, and she is seemingly in prayer or some way. She seems to be sort of just like sitting and focusing on this machine.
My first instinct, and obviously not like fall off. I hope it doesn't cause me to fall off. Like as soon as I see that she's there, I like duck down a little bit more, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Fuck. That's interesting. It's not what I expected to see, actually. A lot of that was not what I expected to see, but not her was definitely what I expected to see the least. I'm just like, shit. Fuck, I was really hoping I'd get inside that room, but I don't know if I want to get inside the room now. You know what? My plan was to get inside the room. And I'm gonna say, faced with this, and the kind of certain duress that, the kind of character that Luther is, and the kind of duress he's been under, he was gonna get in that room. Let's try to open the window.
Okay.
He didn't plan for this, so he just has to go with the plan he had.
Sure. Yeah, oh, you know, I'm fucking stupid. I can keep the chronology in my head. Diana's not in this room because she is currently speaking with
I
Amber
was like, oh no, what is happening here?
I'm so sorry. That is my brain being stupid and forgetting what's happening.
I really was like, oh shit, Diana got more powers than I expected.
We're
about to have to throw down.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, it's just the machine in here.
Okay.
And you try to like push the window, but as you know from the previous from that rec room you were in, it's one that has to be like cranked open from the inside, so you can't just like pull it open.
I just say, fuck. I am like deciding between the two objects I have. Actually, yes, I actually think this would make the most sense to do. Yeah, I pull out my gun. Time to smack the window. Smack the window with the gun. I think it's the heaviest thing I have.
No.
I think it's actually heavier than the shovel.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to break the window.
I'm so glad you're not shooting the window.
I know everybody's like, oh god, he's going to shoot the window. I'm like, I'm not that stupid.
So here's where my brain is at with that. I don't think it's hard to break this window with the gun, but I think getting that much force without knocking yourself off of this ledge is difficult.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that this is a...
I'm going to say this is tower.
I'm going to say this is another Delve Haven roll. To be able to do this and like stay, you know, in position.
Still standard.
Yes, still standard. Thank you, because you are still attached by your rope.
Okay. What were you going to say, Jackson?
I'm scared by the mixed success. It's like success, you break the window. The stress, you fall.
Well, here we are.
Alrighty.
That is a mixed success, and as predicted, you reel back, you smack the window with your gun, and your foot flies right off the ledge. You hear the window shattering as you are free falling down the side of this tower.
Except
before
I
your
use
rope
my
snags.
trap card.
Oh?
I absolutely use in the thick of it, once per situation, when you would mark stress of any other resistance than fortune, mark fortune. Would that work in that case, or is this something I can't do because I technically haven't rolled stress yet, or haven't acquired stress yet?
Yeah, I mean, this will change. Interesting. So how am I going to make this fortune stress then? Okay. So yeah, that's totally valid. Because I was building up to you taking stress there. If you couldn't tell.
I was about to fall off the fucking building, so... This
Here's what I
does...
will say.
No, you're just gonna get Gwen Stacy and your neck's gonna snap.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Here, let me roll it.
Shouldn't have tied that rope around my neck.
You take 4 fortune fallout. 4 fortune stress.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
What's your total stress at?
It's gonna be... That's a good old 6 total.
Good. That's a 2. So you take minor
Oh,
fortune
boy.
fallout. And here's what that
Ooh.
looks like. So you swing as hard as you can to break this window, and your foot does slip. But you catch yourself. And you notice, though, your foot like kicks the rope. And it gives. There's no resistance at all. And you see, you feel the glass shatter, you feel your foot touch the rope, and you see beneath you, before you even notice what's going on in the room, the rope just free falls underneath you. And that's when you see, through this broken window, these double doors open, and an attendant walks in, sheathing a knife and holding a severed end of rope.
Well, baby, guess what? The other half of my skill is, when you suffer fortune fallout, roll with mastery for the remainder of the situation. So we gotta get dirty here.
All right. I'm gonna let you sit on this and figure out what you're gonna do with this. You are freestanding outside the broken window to the master's chambers as this elven attendant has just walked in, and we're gonna go back to Larry, who was collecting Roz, or attempting to.
Yeah, that's. Do you come with?
So you come upon me with all of my glass seeing stones balanced precariously, and I'm sitting in a very uncomfortable looking position chanting. And how close am I to the end of my ritual?
You're pretty close.
Okay.
Like 5 minutes max.
Sure. Can you stall for 5 minutes and then just drag my body with you?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
The pretenses are falling apart. This is coming to a head.
Indeed, and I'd like to be able to be on a different dimension. Having put this much work into it, I'd really like to go to my other dimensions so that I can just pop into action wherever.
I get that. I don't get. I mean, yeah.
It'll be just. I'll look after you. You look after my body, so they don't force feed it any sort of poisons or toxins or whatever else.
Yeah, I'll literally just carry you. That's fine.
Wonderful.
I go explore for another couple minutes trying to find Luther. To no avail, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sign of him, right? Like, depending on how perceptive you are. No, I actually genuinely think there's no sign of him anywhere.
I start to suspect the worst, but there's like that thought in the back of my brain. It's like probably something bad happened, or who knows, maybe the boy did it. but I don't know.
You guys are about to get a lot of signals very quick. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm cooking.
So I come back to Entofe and I say, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't find Luther, but I did find Roz. I think Roz was in the middle of something. Let me go grab Roz.
Roz's
now.
body is slung over, or I was gonna say we could just meet up with them at the point where I'm slung over your shoulder. Like,
Yeah,
this is happening now.
Yeah, I wanted to like do some extra backs and forths just to take the 5 minutes. Let me go grab Roz.
One thing you find interesting about this experience is that my body is quite a bit lighter than it should be. I'm like 7 feet tall, but it feels like picking up like a 45-pound child.
Gotcha.
It feels like picking up a 2x4.
It's all empty space in there.
I would say this. I feel like this doesn't matter mechanically, but I would say just because of like all the cogs and gears and stuff, that there is like a small space between my back and the shield. Like it's actually held in place more by the suit than and like the in suspension systems than my back.
You put him on
so-
your shoulders like a
so-
like a guy
yeah,
who's
So I actually slip you between, like, it's like me, you, shield.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's
You're
like-
wearing him.
Yeah.
he's just ragdolled, and you have his legs on. You have his legs on.
I'm
your
literally
shoulders.
C3PO and he's Chewbacca.
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
Yeah. I come back and I say he's not feeling so well, but he'll be fine.
Nice cover.
Antiphe, Diana, after Larry left and Diana realized that she was going to have to wait around a minute, Diana just started like working on something in a ledger. Are you still with her or did you wander off?
I guess I'm still with her.
Larry brings Roz back to you and Diana. Diana sort of cocks her head and says, "Huh, how odd. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Well, I hope you will all find this
suppose
illuminating."
so.
And then, Isaac, what is Luther doing?
I see that. I'm getting into. If I'm able to break the glass, I'm like in there
Yeah,
now.
the glass is broken. The
Yeah,
glass
I'm
is
like-
broken. The attendant has walked into the room and shut the door.
And the most hurried way to get in is, I imagine, is you see me go shit, and I like bend over into this broken window and fall like butt forward, like my legs go over, like I just do like a dumb like somersault over this windowsill, and I'm like on the ground, and I just go ah fuck, and I get up, and I'm just like, I have my gun still in my hand, and I'm trained on the attendant, and I just say, and immediately I'm like, put down the knife.
The knife is already sheathed.
Move away from the door. Is the door open?
They just finished shutting the door. Do you still tell them to move away from it?
Yes. I tell them to move. I just move away from the door.
You catch a glimmer of a smile, and they start moving away from the door into the center of the room.
I didn't say the center. Move to the corner. I'm gesturing towards the wall.
They're again just the sliver of their face falling, and they do as you say.
Good. Now, I am in here. You're in here with me.
Go ahead and roll an Endure plus technology or Endure plus occult, either one.
Is that a... Oh, technology is interesting. Shit, which do I want worse? We're gonna go with tech on here. For some reason, tech feels like it might be less bad than occult.
I mean, it's just down to which one you have the domain for at this moment.
Fair enough. And you said endure?
Yep.
Good thing I have mastery, ain't it?
Yeah.
This is exactly what my build is kind of for.
Okay. As you're talking and starting to get your bearings in this room, you feel a humming pulsing through the room, and you notice that it is sort of in time with the pulsing of this machine and the cords and tubes coming out of it. But you feel okay for the moment. You don't feel you can like feel that happening, but you're able to shake it off and continue what you're doing. and
Yeah,
the attendant is just like backed up against a wall.
How do you turn it off? I say that. I say, how do you turn it off?
You think I know?
How do you turn it off?
You clearly don't understand what's happening here. I
I
couldn't
don't,
turn it
and I
off
want
if I
to.
wanted to.
If they say that, I start moving towards the machine.
Okay. Are you
I don't
like
turn-
approaching it fully, or?
No, yeah, I don't turn my back on them. I'm just starting to move towards the machine to see how they respond to me doing that then.
Okay. They don't seem to respond, and as you're doing that, they do sort of feebly say, "Diana will have your head."
She'll have to take it off my she'll have to take it off of my corpse then. And I am going to take one glance at it, grab my entrenching tool, and just find a cord and just start. I'm just gonna hit the first big cord I see on it.
Okay, give me a risky endure plus tech roll. If you're going to do that, if you don't have to, but as you move to do that, you feel that pulsing again, and it's going to be a risky endure plus tech roll if you want to do that.
Here we go, baby. I can't kill the machine, Sean.
That is a critical failure.
Oh no!
I should have just shot the goddamn elf. Fuck.
Diana says, "Well, I hope you'll find this enlightening," and starts leading you all down the hallway. Lauren is out of the room, so we'll pick that up when she gets back.
We're about to be enlightened up, that's for sure.
You're about to be enlightened, Hyuk.
How is Roz doing in the astral plane?
Yeah, do I see anything sinister around?
Anything?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I meant to address this, so we'll address it now while we're waiting. As you are being walked up and down these halls, you can see the sort of after images of all of these various hotel rooms, and you can see sort of imprints of some of the various people that have stayed there, but where all of these imprints overlap is on the bed where they all have to sleep. And
Okay.
you see that there is a stream of psychic energy, latent psychic energy, that is seemingly pouring from the heads of all of the beds in all of these rooms through the walls and up toward the top of the tower.
Okay. I'm beginning to start putting some pieces together, I think.
And Diana has said to Antiphe and Larry, "Oh, well, I hope you will find this enlightening." And she begins leading you down the hall. Are you following?
Yes. Yeah, yes, I say.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if you weren't there for that, Lauren, I'm fine.
You
Isaac
don't
is getting
You're
in much,
fine.
much worse trouble.
Yeah,
As
you
usual.
don't hear
Honestly,
from
this is on
Luther.
brand for me. The situation I'm in, I'm like,
Check
well,
out.
I'm gonna see if I
Um,
could finally pay due for all the stupid shit I get up to and not just fucking die for once.
Diana leads you down the
Roz
hall.
is seeing weird stuff.
Yeah,
so
I'm in the astral plane.
Yep, Roz is astral projecting
Okay.
while Larry is carrying Roz's body around.
Cool.
I didn't really
And-
want to leave it unattended.
Diana
Fair.
leads the three of you down the hall and then to the staircase where she goes down, not up. And she goes down to the first floor lobby room where there were all of those doors leading to all the different side rooms, of which you've only really been in the like feasts sort of banquet hall. But, and I forget who all was present for this. Who all saw Thorn being taken away? Antiphae did, I think, right?
I think we all
You
did.
did as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say we were all in the room at the time.
Yeah, that was the fight, and the guy got taken away.
So you notice that Diana is taking you toward that door that they brought Thorn into.
Oh boy.
And Roz,
Okay.
there is those same like streams of psychic energy that were heading up toward the tower. You see that they're also accumulating in that room that you're being taken toward. And there is a sort of thunderous force just like pulsing into that room. That
Okay.
in fact it's going along to that same rhythm of that pulse that you heard earlier.
Gotcha.
And Diana is leading you toward that room. And then she stands in front of it and she says, well, I've told you that I would show you a bit about this tower, and I hope you will find it enlightening. So, if you don't mind.
Can I try something right before we get in the door here?
Yeah. Please do.
I want to see if I can get my, astral projecting body as close as I can to like Larry's like ear and start whispering just like the simple phrase like stay on guard over and over again.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Because you're not like technically in this plane of existence, but you do have this relationship with death, with your death. And I like the idea that if you try to communicate with someone in the real world, your death takes up that mantle.
Sure.
Because your death has a lot of experience communicating across the veil in that way.
Right.
So stay on guard, you said?
Yeah.
Larry, you hear a voice very close to your ear say, I have a very important message for you.
The gears are turning in my own brain as to whether I could feasibly put together the fact that this is
The gears of the train man.
Yeah.
Probably not. I would guess the only person who might have enough experience with me to have this had happened before is maybe Luther.
Yeah, because I've never heard this voice before. But I know at this point, just from traveling the brief amount of time, that you hear voices all the time. I have no idea whether I can make that connection in.
I think since you know that Roz is in the astral plane right now, I think that it's like the only reasonable conclusion, right? Like, what else could it be?
Yeah, it's one of the things. It's like it's definitely it's on the list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I like kind of look around a little bit and then just nod like, yes.
Stay on guard. Wouldn't want to see you get hurt.
With that, the gears start to shift in my suit, and the shield slides around, and I don't take it away. Like I'm still pretty much locking my arm in place, so it's not like
You're not
I'm
taking a fighting stance. You're just sort of shifting your armor.
Yeah, exactly.
You hear a crack as Raz's leg gets caught in one of the gears.
That's fine.
And I'm like, oh, God, oh yeah, this never happens. Well, I never really have someone back there. So I slide it, I start sliding it around to my arm and just hold my arm in place at my side.
Okay, yeah. Diana opens the door, and the way that the door opens, it like opens into the room in such a way that it blocks your view. Like it opens toward you so you can't see the other side of it. And she just gestures and says, please, after you.
Diana, this won't hurt, will it?
Our utmost concern is for the well-being and happiness of our guests.
My spirit is crouched on a table behind her, preparing to lop her head off at a moment's notice.
You did speak that spell, so.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's a non-zero chance I can kill her in one hit.
Yeah, I've already done the mental calculations. Like in character, it's like, okay, if something hurts, I'm going to lean into the heart. And I lean
Mhm.
into the heart, activate the armor, and activate. Yeah, like we're ready.
Yeah, go ahead. And so you walk into this room and you see just all of the walls of this room are covered in these like tubes and cords, and they all lead up to the ceiling, where they go into these crevices in the ceiling and off away to who knows where. And there is this pulsating energy in the whole room that you feel as soon as you walk in. And truly, Roz, I think I'm going to say you don't need to roll this, but Larry and Antiphe both will need to roll an Endure plus Tech or Endure plus Occult roll as you walk into this room.
I'm inoculated because it's already in my brain.
It's already in your brain. More importantly, your brain, as it were, is not in this room.
True.
I mean, I guess you could follow them in, but I assumed you weren't.
I'm just preparing to kill this person. I'm preparing to take a life.
Pretty good. Good job, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, you feel this pulsing wave of energy hit you, and it just has no effect whatsoever. In fact, if anything, you feel a little crackle of electricity in your armor as though something is resonating with this room. And Antiphe, the absolute heroes, Antiphe,
The one's not in danger.
you walk into this room and the bees start screaming. Like every fiber of your being wants to be out of this room.
Being.
Uh-huh.
Makes sense.
In fact, like, how do you visualize the way your body constitutes? Like, are you like 90% bees? Is it just like 10%? Like, is
Are you
it
just
just
a
like bees
beekeeper's outfit
inside
filled with
you?
bees?
I figure like at this point, it's like to the point where a handful of my organs have been replaced by bee constructs. And they're everywhere in there.
Okay.
So I'm not all bees, but I'm a lot bees.
You're a lot bees. You feel your skin crawling as the frantic activity of the bees to ward off this energy and keep your body sacred is just like in overdrive.
You want a kind of fun, scary thing that your bees could be doing? You feel
What's
yourself.
that?
You feel yourself physically get warmer from the inside as they all start like
yeah.
shaking more.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm feeling all that kinetic energy. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a
Also,
thing
thanks for the
bees
full body
do.
giblies, making me remember the scarab scene from 2001's The Mummy.
Oh God, that's a core memory of trauma for me.
I know.
That shit
I had
fucked
to
me
share
up.
it with you because I knew it would fuck you up as bad as it fucked me up.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so you both walk into this room, you both feel this energy, but you are both okay. The only other thing in this room is an attendant who, unlike the other attendants you've seen, they have what looks like sort of a metal plate in the side of their head. But otherwise, that's the only thing in this room, and the attendant just looks at the both of you as you enter the room and starts approaching and like putting their hand out as though to like guide you along.
I give a little smile and as well with the crackling of my arm, and I say, "So it is. You were right." As in, like, there would be no harm to us.
Yeah, no harm to you guys. You're not in danger.
Do you allow this attendant to sort of guide you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The attendant guides you into the center of the room and takes a seated position, like a kneeling position, and gestures for you, like, to come down and do the same. And Diana's still just standing outside of the room.
Staying outside the room, okay.
Yep, just watching.
I look back at Diana and say, joining us?
Well, I would love to join you, but I do have other matters around the tower to attend. It does keep a lot of upkeep. But I want to make sure that you all are happily on your way before I go.
Thank you for your hospitality.
I look nervously over to Antife. I will kneel.
And
Do I, as I start to crouch down, do the bees get louder?
and they don't seem to respond to the position you're taking or anything like that. It seems like this whole room is pretty much equal. What you want to read into that is up to you, I suppose.
Okay.
And as you both kneel, Diana closes the door behind you. Not with a slam, just like gently closes the door.
Absolutely not.
I think in that split-second moment, I will dart in the door as it's closing.
Ooh, okay. Give me an endure occult
Here
roll.
we go. Endure, it doesn't matter.
Uh-huh.
I'm just sitting here like, and then we cut back to Luther, who's now writhing on the floor. That's all I can anticipate what I'm gonna be doing.
8.
Hey, nice. Yeah, wow. Yeah, you enter this room and you feel all of that psychic energy that you can see flowing through this room. And it absolutely has no effect on you. You are able to, it's as, because the way that you move through this space, it's as though you're walking on top of that energy and it doesn't even touch you.
Cool.
And Diana closes the door behind you all and starts to, yep.
Well, if I understand correctly, did you say you wedged yourself or stopped the door closing? Or
No,
what?
I didn't stop the door. I don't think that I can, because I want to say that that's an ability I haven't taken yet that gives me poltergeist fingers, but someday in the future, maybe.
As the door closes, I realize we've made a terrible mistake. I make a mad, hard dash, shield out front, like going to break down that door. This was
really terrifying for me. I'm leaping through my spirit is leaping through you, charging into the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you do so, the attendant with lightning fast speed reaches out for you and grabs you. I think Lauren disappeared.
We've lost Lauren, and now that I'm Jackson. No, and I'm half me.
Apologies, chat. You'll have to bear with us until whatever has happened with Lauren is resolved.
Hey, I'm Jackson. I'm also half Isaac. That's Lauren. And
I don't know.
Well, I don't know what happened to Ari. That's both half.
Oh, I'm not on the screen anymore.
No,
Excuse
you're
fuck
half.
Out of me.
You're half Sean, half you.
Beautiful.
Sean's mostly at screen.
Welcome back.
Now Lauren is the GM. Lauren, what are we doing next?
I think when she turns on her camera,
it'll fix. This is a fun, guys. You get to see how crazy my setup is because it's a nightmare.
There isn't really a good way of doing it when you're sharing camera feeds from Discord.
Yeah, at least it's determined.
Yeah, I mean, other than just like one big square,
right?
I'm going to assume Lauren is back.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, the internet seems like it just had a bit of a whoa.
Oops.
Weird.
Whoa.
Oh shit! I'm still worried.
Uh-huh.
So, Larry, as you bolt for the door, this attendant reaches for you with like lightning fast reflexes and grabs you. I think that you are strong enough to like power through that, but if you're trying to like break through the door, you are going to have to roll a kill Haven roll to overpower and like bust through this door with this person's weight like dragging on you.
All right.
Unless.
Oh boy, what's happening?
Unless
Unless I
Uh,
just use my Grim Reaper ability. My Death's
Ooh.
Attentions now function as the following weapon: D8 ranged one shot.
I'm so glad you took that. I would have taken that too.
I just want to cut his hand off.
Okay.
Who's
I
it?
want,
Go ahead and roll
The
it.
attendant.
I want
So-
to know
Okay.
what this looks like.
So what's happening
I'm sorry
here?
Yeah.
As you both knelt, Diana shut the door. Roz slipped into the room, and as soon as Larry heard the door shut, he was like, "Oh hell no!" and jumped up and charged for the door. The attendant is grabbing onto him to like try to keep him in place. But
Okay.
so we have. Is this? Let me look at your stuff here,
Mm-hmm.
because your abilities are more different.
I got some clown shoes abilities up in there.
What? Which ability was that?
Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper. That's long whisper. Gain the kill skill. Your death's attentions now function. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I want to know what this looks like. You've got a stand in. It's awesome.
My stand death on two legs.
Uh-huh.
Let me grab that one shot.
Which is obviously relocalized to death walking.
Death man walking.
Death the man walking.
Or Freddy's legs or something.
Freddy's legs. God, that would
Listen,
be funny.
I know that Bad Company's the better name, but Tiny
It's so good.
Tiny Company is so funny.
Okay, so that's about what I figured. This one shot means you can only use this once per situation.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, go ahead and... It's been a while since you've described your death for us. What does your death look like?
My death is a high elf city guard from the city above, wearing some very gaudy, like ostentatious armor. This was a part of a huge like mass execution that turned into a weird bacchanal a la like a Bosch painting. And this city guard is wielding a like an equally ornate like hook sword. And so yeah, just this high elf city guard from the city above manifests and just cuts this guy's hand.
Yeah, and you see it's the entire room darkens slightly, and this specter of a just gleaming like royal guard looking like beautiful elf comes in, and with a flourish and a slash, go ahead and roll. So that's going to be kill. So go ahead and roll kill and desolate. Kill desolate.
That's a shame. I would be able to use desolate.
Oh yeah.
Your brain wasn't hurt.
Thank you for keeping me honest. I had forgotten.
It's fine. Cool. That's an 8.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead and roll your d8 for stress.
Here come the big money.
Yeah, you're delivering stress damage. Yeah.
Hack his hand off. Hack his hand
This
off.
hand is fully off.
Yeah, absolutely. So your death steps in from the aether, wraps a hand almost lovingly around this attendant who looks up in shock, and just takes the hand scythe and draws it across this attendant's hand. The hand comes clean off. Blood is pouring onto the floor, and the
First blood.
first blood, technically, and your death just takes this attendant as the attendant is like screaming in pain. And does this like guard's uniform have any kind of like cloak or any kind of like flowy piece to it?
Yeah, we could say that it's got like a half cape.
Okay. Your death just like flourishes the half cape, and in a blink of an eye, behind the cape, both he and the attendant vanish.
Well,
What
he's
happens
dead.
when you roll max damage on your thing?
I don't think
So
he's
there's
alive.
just a severed hand and a bunch of blood on the ground, and Larry goes charging through the door with no resistance.
So I think in that moment, I think to repaint this charge, I'm going full speed. I get grabbed, and I just look down, unhand me, and then that happens.
And then
Sliced
the unhinging
cake.
happened.
Yeah, a slice, and just the look of like turns back to the door and say, "You will not brainwash us."
You smash through the door, and the first thing you see is Diana, who's like she's like 5 steps away, like she had just started walking away, and she turns and looks at you as you burst through the door screaming. And we cut to Luther.
How am I doing?
Yeah, I kept
Luther.
waiting for this scene to end with the machine not working and you guys getting away anyway, but we got so caught up in this whole thing, and now it's all a big mess.
Luther,
Yes.
you take double stress.
Yes.
We're about to find out how much double stress is in this situation.
Yes.
I feel like that's immediate major. Well,
That is 6 stress.
To which
That'd be
stat,
a lot
my
worse.
friend,
Mind
because I
stress.
can't do it on fortune anymore. What's that? Mind
Yeah,
stress?
that is 6 mind stress.
That's 5 mind stress, I'll remind you.
That's true. What's your total stress at now?
And
Bearing in mind, you did get to clear your fortune stress when
Okay,
you.
so that's at 0? Gotcha.
yeah.
Back at 6, baby!
All right. That's a 12. You do not take any fallout. What happens here is you make a wild swing for the cords of this, or for one of the tubes on this machine, and your brain just stops functioning. The pulse from this machine at this close of a distance as you try to strike at it is so powerful that it is though somebody just flipped a switch and turned your brain entirely off, and you feel yourself go limp
Thank you!
and start falling to the floor. And you have to like catch yourself and regain your bearings, and as you're doing that, the attendant is charging at you.
Okay.
What do you do?
I wheel around and I just say nope, and I take a shot at him. I just take a shot at him with my gun.
Go ahead and roll kill Haven, I believe, for your gun.
Mm-hmm. Find the buttons.
Yeah. Also,
Kill, Haven, and I do have Mastery.
jeez.
okay, that's an 8. Yeah, give me just a moment here.
And it is brutal. I can't remember what brutal did, but it's something brutal.
Oh goodness, yeah, okay.
I was
Just be a
thirsty,
second
thank
here.
you. I'm shooting a man. Hold on.
Mhm.
Don't worry, Lem. I'm shooting a man.
I don't have water. I'm sorry. I
I'm
can go
trying to
grab water.
change the music here and watch together. It's just not loading.
Jeez.
Oh, is this a private? No, it's public. Come on, man.
Because the playlist does not contain any items.
If I have a minute, I can go grab some water.
Okay, I guess we just don't get to change the music. I don't know what the deal is with that.
No Pyramid Head music, no!
Okay, yeah, you take your shot. What is the kill rating on your gun?
Let me see, I believe it is D8? D6. D6.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll your d6 for kill, while I quickly grab what Brutal does.
I remember doing
Believe-
something nasty, too.
2 damage, 2 stress.
Yes.
Brutal. When you roll for
Brutal
stress
is-
against an adversary using this item, roll 2 dice and pick the highest. So go ahead and re-roll that.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Fuck. Yeah, that's really good. I remembered looking at it and being like, that seems really good, and that is very good.
That's a 2 still.
Well, oh,
Amazing.
well, it was D6 anyways, but that was for a different weapon, but it's fine. They're both D6s.
Okay. Well, yeah. So you like catch yourself and see this attendant charging you and throw your hand up to take a shot and get a glancing blow off the arm of this attendant, who like recoils and runs slightly past you and has to stop and turn on a dime, and they grab their knife from their sheath and just throw it at you.
Okay.
What do you do?
They threw a knife at me.
There's a knife flying through the air at you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I am gonna say I'll try to avoid it. I'll try to like duck to the side to avoid getting hit by this knife.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Evade Haven. Whoa. Okay.
Okay.
That is a critical success. Here's what I will say. This knife goes flying through the air, and you duck out of the way, and you hear it wedge into something behind you, and there is just a crackle of electricity, and you smell smoke, and the attendant just like curses under their breath and starts running for the door.
Are they so when they I assume that they like passed me for that like first like
Yeah.
where are they in position to the hole that I made in the window?
You can get. They're running to the door. They're not even paying you mind right now. If you want to go out the window, you can do so.
Oh no, I don't want to go out the window, Sean.
Oh, you want to kick them out the window?
I
Yeah,
want to try
totally.
to kick. I'm gonna because I had like my entrenching tool in my hand. I'm gonna try to like just beam them across the head to at least daze them or something to kick them out the window.
Yeah, totally.
You could like grab him by the wrist and Irish whip him out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's gonna be Kill Haven.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. I'm gonna wait until we get our results before I say what I'm gonna. Okay.
Yowza.
That's double damage, right? Or do I need to roll damage?
No, you don't. I don't need you to roll damage. Okay, totally. You. Let's see if I can do this one at a time here. Oh, perfect. Yes.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah, you are able to do exactly what you wanted to do. This window is in perfect position, and I mean, tell us how you do this.
Yeah, no, I imagine that like I see them bolt for it, and I run after them and just hit him in the side of the head with the entrenching tool, like the flat end, to like knock them off their balance, and then like probably do a half spin and then just boot kick as hard as I can with my. I want to say like I have probably the entrenching tool in my left hand with my right leg just to kick him out the window as hard as I can. So you get the nice sound of a bing.
Yeah, and you make full contact, like perfectly centered center mass. And this attendant topples out the window. They don't even make a sound because you knocked the breath out of their lungs with that hit. They just silently go straight out the window and out of sight.
Damn, no Wilhelm or anything?
No Wilhelm. You hear a gust
The MAGA
of
hat
breath.
flies off their head.
Yeah.
You know, they deserve it.
Yeah, so you are alone in this room now. What is your next? What are you doing next?
The first thing I do is I just glance out at the window and just say, I hope you deserved that.
I hope you just.
and I.
That's a cool line.
Yeah, there's no reason why I said that. I wheel back around and look at the machine. What's
The machine
happened to
is fine, but the knife is embedded into one of the large tubes that is going out of it, and there is a sort of like whispery, silvery substance sort of oozing out of it, and there is, like I said, there's the smell of smoke coming from it.
All right. I want to look around the room. Are there? I'm trying to think of what I'm looking for.
Okay,
I see-
you think about that.
Yes. They have stuff. I need to think.
Brain. Diana and Larry and Roz and Antherfe on the bottom floor of this building, you hear a gunshot in the distance above you. And Diana looks away from you and looks up, and you see panic and anger across her face. Her eyes go wide and her jaw tightens, and she looks back at you and says, I'll deal with you later. And she bolts for a nearby wall, which she walks right through, like a revolving wall, and you hear a mechanical whirring on the other side.
Can I try and dive in with
Yeah.
her?
Totally.
There's no reason to not. Yeah, I look back at
See what's
Interface
in
for a split sec to make sure that they're okay, but only for a split second because there's no opportunity like this. It's still charging time.
I couldn't say it to you because I'm on another dimension, but I would yell scout.
just a continuous rage of you're not getting away that easy.
Roz, are you just like trying to follow her, or are you trying to do something specific?
I'm just trying to follow her.
Path to like do something. Okay, you follow her into, from what you can tell, appears to be some kind of contained area. And as this like whirring sound happens, she starts going straight up. And you're able to follow along with her.
Okay, cool.
But Larry, as you get to the wall, you like push it and it opens, and there's just a chasm in front of you, a very small chasm where you can see like wires going up and down, and you can tell above you this chamber that she has gone into is just going straight up above you and is out of reach. Antiphe, I assume that you're also not sticking around with this severed hand in this horrible mind control room.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
she
I'm
likes
going
it.
with.
She just
like
walks
it.
out of the tower and is like, I think I've seen enough.
My work here is done. Ooh, okay, let me think briefly. So I assume Larry and Antiphe, y'all are trying to go up the stairs, or is there something else you want to do?
I do ask quickly, I was like, anything to cut this rope? Because is it like steel cable, or is this like actually feasibly?
It's gonna be tough. It's not like rope, but it's feasibly cuttable.
So yeah, I ask anything to cut this rope. All I got is this, and I do take
Yes,
a
me.
shot. Like I do take the sharp point and then try to jab it in.
Yeah, I
But-
don't get the impression your shield is sharp enough to
Yeah.
cut that. Does Antiphe have any like bladed weapons or anything?
I
Got
think
the
your
trowel.
hive tool should work for that.
Yeah, I got my hive tool.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to try and roll, it'll be a kill. That'd be kill technology. If you want to try to cut this with your hive tool.
Okay.
While you're doing this, I had a really dumb reference thought of, also, Lauren, is this character's creation your promise that you're going to become a beekeeper in the next 3 years?
I mean, this is my second character that's very bee related.
That's true.
So I feel like it's in the cards for me at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting that out into the ether for sure.
Bee allergies. Bee allergies are like not a huge deal, right? I am allergic to bees, but
Oh
What's
man,
the
that would.
worst that could happen?
Yeah, you know what? That's like
famously safe allergy.
that's like I really want to give back to them, but they'll kill me.
It's fine. It's not going into your body like a peanut. It's on your skin. It's okay.
Are you eating the bees?
Yeah, don't eat the bees. It's fine.
Exactly. Wait, if this character is any notification, definitely don't eat the bees, Lauren. I know you want to.
I love that a bee allergy. It means you're allergic to eating bees.
Mm-hmm. You got that kill technology roll, Lauren?
Um. We roll up with those because I haven't attacked anybody in this game yet, so I don't know how this works.
Yep, just a normal
it
roll.
says that,
So kill is one of the kill is one of
roll?
your basic skills.
Yep.
I don't know
top
what art is, but I assume it doesn't matter.
What is?
It's a tag. Brutal.
Mm.
Oh,
Factor
brutal.
anything in there?
Yeah, brutal's
do
the
I?
same one that Luther's gun has. It won't affect this, but if you were attacking somebody,
Oh,
or
sure, because
something-
it's not fighting. Yeah, right. I forgot what I was attacking.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to do damage to
I
this
forgot
thing.
I
You're
was
either going to cut it or you're
attacking
not.
Middle Spring. Yeah. Okay. Kill technology. Roll 20 is really chugging today.
Make sure you have hardware
Hardware
acceleration
acceleration
turned
on.
Probably not right now, but
I'm so mad that. And now I'm gonna have to turn it back off. Oh my god. Gotta love Chrome things.
okay, yeah, that is a
Heyo.
success, a complete success. So this like sort of metallic wire that is moving this lift is like whirring by. This lift is going really fast. But you're able to just take one good clean swing and cut straight through it. And there's a hitch, and then this lift that was like flying up hangs in the air before coming crashing down.
Wow,
Get
don't
back.
even have the safety. What the hell is that safety device? It's named after somebody.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking
Fulton?
about. Totally doesn't have that.
He wasn't able to get down here for that, so
He has to personally install them.
it's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
It's amazing he still does it. He's like over 300. He's over 200 years old. He's over 100
I'm
years
gonna
old.
just
He's not that old.
roll. Okay. Yeah. So this lift comes crashing down, and Diana is like off balance and catching herself as she looks up at you and just curses and lunges for you, Antiphae, since you are the closest one.
Any chance I can stand between them?
Go ahead and roll a what would this be? Wait, don't you have an ability for that? I thought you
No.
literally had an ability that does that.
I wish.
Okay.
Not expressly, no. We allowed it last time when Antiphae
Yeah,
was
no,
gonna
I
get-
definitely, I'll allow it. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like throwing something that you have a literal ability for.
No, I don't have a. I do wonder if it is another Permission Knight ability, but no, I don't.
Okay. All good. I just wanted to double check. Yeah, so you oh yeah, it's called Night Protector. So there is an ability that does exactly this.
Oh, gotcha. I should probably take that.
But it's not a roll though. You can just do it.
Oh, gotcha.
So that'll be the difference. Go ahead and roll a Endure plus technology roll.
Okay.
I can't confirm or deny this, but I believe it was called an Otis device or something like this because it was by
Otis.
Otis.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
elevator guy.
By the way, thank you for letting me know that exists, because I think that'll be just the fact they've done it twice already in 2 sessions will probably mean it's the very next thing I take. We said
The Otis device?
Yes, the Otis device. Endure technology.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
That's a 9. She lunges at you, and you see coming out from underneath her sleeves are more of these wires, and she's reaching for your head, but you're able to, I'm assuming you're using your shield for this.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So she's reaching for Antiphae's head, and you just step in with your shield and knock her hands with these wires out of the way, so that she is not able to get a hold of you. Of Antiphae, that is.
Right.
She is seething, and you hear doors nearby opening, and 2 of the attendants come out and see what's happening and start running over.
I'll take that as my cue to appear from the astral plane and take a kill on her.
Hell yeah. Remind us what your mark does.
Let's see.
Or is that only on hunt rolls?
That is, I think, hunt and kill rolls.
Okay.
So let's see. When you hunt prey, you have marked roll with mastery. Mark endures. Okay, no, it is only on hunt. Cool. So I don't actually have any advantage on the skill roll.
Gotcha.
I can't even use a domain.
Sorry, dude.
All right.
That's rough, buddy.
Let's rock. Shit.
Let's rock.
I have failed.
Okay.
Oh,
You know, this I do the same thing I did last session and realized that this would have been the perfect opportunity to use that automatic 6 I have.
Oh yeah.
We're playing this by the book. I can't do that after the fact.
Okay. What does this look like, by the way? Because you're still in the astral plane. Are you?
So, I think you need to check that for me, because my copy of the player's handbook does not have a page that is referenced in the Into the Gray. It says for
I didn't
like
realize.
169 is the page for checking more on traveling through the gray.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize that referenced the like GM section like that. Okay, let me pull that up real quick. Because
I
the whole thing is
think-
that you have stepped into the gray and would have to step back out.
I can do it automatically. It
yeah.
says so in the ability, but I don't know if that means that I go back to my body or if I go to where I am now, but I think it's the latter based on certain other features of this ability.
Yeah, I would have to assume that it's where you are now.
hmm
Um
So the way I
it's an
envision
interesting
it
thing. Yeah, go ahead.
is Larry, you can feel like a slight lightness in your armor as my body just sort of crumbles into dust and blows away. And then you see like the shadows in the room and like dust forming into my body, and I like am mid swing as I come back.
Gotcha.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
really cool.
You make this swing and you you make this swing for Diana as you appear, and she spins, and as your arm like catches on her shoulder, she just wraps her arms around your head, and you feel these wires jab straight into your skull.
Okay.
Jeez.
Roz must suffer.
Oh my goodness.
The
yeah,
Roz must suffer.
seemingly Roz must suffer. Wait, I
Roz-
rolled the wrong die. That's my bad.
Oh, thank Christ.
It's actually D12.
Oh, okay. That's not nearly as bad.
Much better.
I misclicked. Okay.
Don't scare me like that.
Yeah. So you feel these wires jab into your brain, and you take 2 mind stress as your mind is pumped full of what you now know is this like psychic energy that seems to be channeled through these wires and cords and tubes.
Hmm.
What does that put you at stress-wise?
6.
Okay. And you did clear last time you took stress. You did clear that stress track, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Roz must suffer.
The Roz
Give
must
it all.
suffer.
Give me it all.
Okay. Well, you get the special fallout just for this.
Oh shit.
I should pass my shield to you because you've been taking everything.
This major fallout is simply called the Tower. You cannot leave the tower or disobey the tower's
Dang.
direct instructions, either through the owner, at the moment Diana, or through the tower itself, without rolling an endure plus a cult check.
Okay.
Okay.
If you try to leave, that is a risky roll. If you try to disobey its orders in any other way, that's a standard roll.
Okay.
You are under the sway of the tower as you feel these wires just pumping this psychic energy into your brain. And what you feel after this initial shock is peace. You feel content. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we fighting? And Diana lets go, and she like looks at you for a moment, and then she says, "Good, we're all on the same page then. I would hate for anyone to get hurt here." And we will go to Luther.
Okay. So, we have this machine that's leaking battery acid on the ground, because I don't fucking know what it is, and it's smoking. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to frantically look around. I imagine this is like an office. Like there's a desk and everything. Like
No, it is more like a temple. there is this giant machine, which now that you've got a chance to take a better look at it, you see is like an engine, but a massive engine. And at its center, there is a pulsating core of just white light. And it is attached to all of these tubes and cords that run along the sides of the room and into the walls. And the only other thing in this room, aside from the windows, one of which you've broken, is this little altar that Diana has, where, I mean, you didn't see this happening, but you can put two and two together. She presumably does some sort of prayer to this machine.
How
That's
heavy
the
is it?
only thing in this room. What's up?
Can I move it? Can I move the altar? Because
The
I'm
altar?
going to assume the altar is much smaller than the engine.
Yeah, in fact, you don't even have to roll your endure check for this. You're able to move the altar. It's like a sort of little, I don't want to say stone, I'll say clay altar with like talismans and other like charms and stuff on it. So you can move it. It's like not light, but you can like easily move it.
Acha! Out the window!
That's what I thought.
It's gone. It's out of there.
Any response from the machine?
The machine doesn't give a single fuck.
Okay, are there any cavities? Is there anything I could stick? I should have stuck the. Well, no, it's probably too heavy. I was like, I don't think I could. I want to jam something into the altar really badly. But I'm running out of
The altar you
things.
just pushed out the window.
Or not the altar, the machine. Are there like any moving gears or anything that like would interrupt its like function if I like jammed something into it?
I mean, clockwork is probably the aesthetic. I was thinking more steampunk though, but
Okay.
but it's like a giant engine. You would have to stick something into like the inside of the engine itself to be able to like get into the innards at all.
Gotcha.
In other words, you can't see visible moving parts, other than that the entire engine itself is like humming and thrumming.
I guess the only other thing I can do is like, is there a power source that I can determine? Is there a power source on it at all?
I mean, the only thing coming to or from this machine are the cords and tubes that are going into the walls.
And they're all different colors and different shapes and sizes, huh?
Yep. It's a whole tangled mess.
Would my
I don't
brain?
think Luther has seen enough to know what this is, or I mean, you can roll a discern check though. This would be a discern technology roll.
Good. I'll have mastery. That's gonna be the. I'll have. What can I do? I have mastery. I don't know shit about technology, and I sure as hell am not a discerning individual, but I have mastery.
Okay,
Fucks.
yeah, that's a success. So what you're
Double
able to
dice.
gather based on what is going on in this room, if this engine has a power source, it is either self-powered by the core, or it is the energy that is coming through these tubes and things. You can sort of tell, we'll say that the knife cut two of these. You can tell that some of them are pushing energy toward the machine and some are pushing energy away from the machine. So it's either the core or the wires or both.
Well, I'm gonna just aim my gun at the core, and I'm just gonna try to shoot the core until I've run, if I can, until I've run out of bullets in my magazine.
I like this. This is a ranged attack, so you don't have to approach the machine to do this. So I'm not gonna make you roll a kill check because like you're just
kill the machine.
Aiming and shooting. Like you don't need. There's not a lot of ways this can go wrong unless you just miss. And the core's not that small. The core's like this big.
Gotcha.
So yeah, go ahead and roll your damage, and it's brutal, so you rolled twice. And I'm not looking at it because I need to determine the stats of this core that I didn't think of until now.
3. I got 3. Half damage.
Cool.
Half
Okay.
damage.
That's funny.
Okay.
I could take supply stress and say I literally emptied my whole magazine to do max damage or something. I don't know if that's allowed or not, though.
Here's what I'll say. You managed to chip this core, and in doing so, you realize this isn't the only chip in this core, actually. This core already has a number of like chips and scratches and things in it. It seems, now that you're like getting a good look at it, it seems pretty badly damaged already. But it's still chugging along. You shot it, and it did visibly damage it, but it doesn't seem like it's slowing down at all. Shooting it may or may not be a viable answer.
I have a dumb idea, Sean, and I know rules is written. This isn't actually what the skill would do, but it's the only thing I could think to have because it's the only resource I have. I took the skill emergency supplies as the minor like modification of forewarned and forearmed. And the way that it works is you have a few minutes to spare, you can give yourself or one ally one of the benefits from that list from forearmed and forewarned and forearmed at the cost of a resource worth d6 or higher. This does not count as a per session use of the ability. I have a bottle of rot gut liquor. I want to turn that into a Molotov.
Okay, so wait, what forewarned and forearmed. So which
And it's the emergency supplies is the minor.
Okay. You have a few minutes to spare. You can give yourself or one or more allies benefit from the list by consuming a resource. Do you have a resource worth d6 or higher?
Bottle of rot gut liquor, which is a d6.
Okay. Sick. I genuinely didn't know you had that. Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
So you can give yourself or one ally the benefits from this list. So which one are you giving yourself?
I guess it would be because the only thing I could think is kill brutal, but really all I want to do is turn that into a bomb. I just want to turn it into a bomb to try to just blow up the fucking engine because I can't think of what else to do, and I have a bottle of liquor, and I'm like, well, this is the closest thing I have to accelerant of any kind.
I mean, it doesn't specify what the kill rating is. Presumably at least 6.
Mm-hmm.
Kill 4 doesn't really make sense.
Right.
I'll say just because otherwise this is useless to you, since you literally have a kill d6 brutal weapon. I'll say it's a d8. And that this is, I'll say this is viable. If you get high damage on this roll, this will have an effect.
Would you? So would this give it also the brutal? You think, or?
Yeah, I mean, brutal is part of the thing.
Okay. And I just imagine this like I've just essentially made a Molotov out of this, just clogged it with, some cloth or whatever. I don't think I have anything special. Maybe if I have any left over my tonic, I just pour it in there. I don't know. I'm sure I'm drinking some of it, but I don't know how I would. Oh, you know what I do? I do take a couple bullets that I do have, and I take them apart and put gunpowder in there. I just try to make this a bomb as best as I can.
So while you are doing that, we're going to go back downstairs.
Yeah, that takes me a few minutes.
Antiphe, what are you doing in this moment where Larry and Roz have been sort of gripped in combat with Diana, and where Roz has just had a brain tickle?
I would like to cast Unchaos.
Okay, tell me more.
Yeah.
Speak more. These
Okay.
secrets.
It a success for the remaining situation. You treats risky actions as standard actions, as probabilities around you, and I have a minor to go with that. That all allies within arm's reach of me.
Okay. That
Mend
is
and
excellent. Yeah,
occult.
because you're going to be doing some risky actions here. So yeah, go ahead and roll Mend Occult.
And okay, I have mend and occult, so do I just do +2
Yep. So you're going to do your
on the roll thing?
3d10. Yeah. And if you don't like using that interface, there's also just a dice thing on the left-hand side that you can just click on and say what dice you want to roll. Okay, yeah, that's a success. So you have...
Good with it. It's just, yeah, performance.
Yeah, understandable. Okay, so this... Yeah, so Roz and Larry and yourself are all protected from the risk of your actions for the rest of this situation, yes. And I'm curious what this looks like. It says the probability coalesces around you and crystallizes at your feet. Do you have an idea in mind of what you think that looks like?
I hadn't thought of it as literal.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be literal. I'm assuming you're doing something as you're like casting the spell. Is it like something with your, because I know you've got the like sort of like incense stuff going on, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've got a
something with that?
smoker.
Yeah, I have the smoker. It's a weapon. I don't.
I mean, you can use it for both.
Yeah, I mean, this is just flavor.
Yeah. I'm not good at flavor.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to. We can.
No,
move on.
I'm
So yeah, you
oh my gosh.
cast the spell, and the.
No, I'm sorry. I just yeah.
What was it?
Cutting in and out a lot. So I'm like
Yeah, you're like lagging really hard on my end as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's bad. I might have to switch to my personal hotspot in a second here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that might help. I don't know why our internet does this.
Well, it doesn't seem to be your internet because you're
Me either.
fine.
Right.
So it's something to do with
Yeah, I guess that's
Lauren's
true.
computer's connection to the router.
Or something, yeah.
Well, anyway, so you cast the spell Unchaos, and Larry and Roz, you are both filled with confidence that you've got this. Like, things really are pretty well under control at this moment. That said, Diana has just turned and said, I would hate for anyone to get hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why can't we all just have a good time?
I think as that
Right,
was,
kids?
I think as Diana said the first thing, the whole like things are okay or something like that, or I guess yeah, as she said that as well. Just Absolutely not. Slam shield down.
Whoa, okay. I just like walk into a corner and then I sit down and start rummaging through my backpack.
There's the attendants around as well who are likely hostile.
Yes, they are
And,
like running toward you all.
And boy, oh boy, a Lexican burst. And so I just go ahead and activate just the steam off the armor, and the gears start turning, and the things light up, and the shield, or I guess the shield lights up, and that is, I have 3 aqua protection plus 3 from adding from the Vermission plate being activated. And this is when you activate the etheric field from the plate. Sorry, I said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
When you activate etheric field, that is damage to all adversaries nearby equal to your echo protection. 6 damage to all adversaries.
Yeah. And here's what happens. So this burst of energy blasts through this room. It fills the room. And it sort of... So curiously, it does specify only adversaries. Are you picturing this being like a shaped blast, or is there some way that you protect them from getting hit by this?
That is a curious question. I sort of assumed that, I don't know, with my desired attunement to the heart, that this hit on a level that, like, this doesn't do physical damage. This does some sort of
Okay, yeah. I mean,
like,
it is a field, so that makes sense.
Yeah, this does some sort of like psychic or emotional damage.
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
This field, this burst, blasts through the room, and Antiphe and Roz, you both feel it pass through you, and you like feel your heart flutter, and the 2 attendants, you said this is 6 total?
Yeah, 6 to all of them, yes.
The 2 attendants drop. They are running toward you, and they crumple like mid-run and are just on the ground. That would be for
Forgot you
Diana.
literally have Conqueror's hockey. Unbelievable.
I'll be it's my one trick, and I'll be refining it as the game goes on.
Nice.
Okay. Diana takes this blast, and it like visibly staggers her. She drops to a knee, like clutching her heart, and then she looks at the like broken lift behind her and makes a dash for the stairs instead.
Can we stop her physically? Like, what? I just took a move, so I feel like I would be
Yeah, I mean, you could
preoccupied. Yeah,
you could chase her. If you want to chase her, she's not like, you can't just like grab her and she's stuck.
sure, yeah.
Unless Antiphe had something that they wanted to do here.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead
No.
and how do I want to handle this? Go ahead and roll a hunt haven roll.
This sucks. The one time the thing I did would have paid off, and I'm completely neutralized.
Uh-huh. You're just here to you just want to know why everybody's fighting. Why is everybody fighting?
In fact, as you're like sitting down in the corner, Thorn comes from around, like from one of the other side rooms, and comes and sits next to you and says, "Hey, what's going on here? This is crazy."
I don't know. I'm just trying to find my... here it is. And I pull out a bottle of, what is it? Bootleg ambrosia.
Oh, good.
And I uncork it and start drinking heavily. But I'm going to use this opportunity to say that this is what I would probably have done for trying to relax, but I can spend this D6 to mend mind and I believe I can use that to shrug off a minor fallout.
Yeah,
Perfect.
totally. So
Okay.
that'll take care of your clouded, but you do still
So
have...
it goes in order.
Well, because it's the other one is a major fallout, remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now this major fallout, it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with this, because
Yeah.
the Fake Tower itself is gonna be an interesting position here in a second.
Yeah. I'll make sure to
But
throw
yeah,
a wrench into that.
You are able to clear your clouded status with that, though. If that, what ability was that?
Oh, that wasn't an ability. I was just using the ambrosia. It already had the tags for Mend Mind D6.
Gotcha. So let me double check. So the way Fallout works, yeah, perfect. That'll do it. So that clears that clouded fallout. And Thorn gestures at the two attendants and says, "You think those folks are dead?"
I don't know.
Man, somebody should go check on them. And he lays down.
Yep, I just continue drinking my bootleg ambrosia.
Okay. You all are chasing Diana up the stairs. Did we get those Hunt Haven rolls?
No, I had not rolled it yet. I was gonna say, as an aside, I'm wearing the best T-shirt today. I'm wearing the Wall Crusher shirt.
Oh yeah,
So that is very
it's giving
fitting.
you strength.
It is. I do fail.
Oh shit.
I will direct this one to In the Blood. Direct an attack or damage.
Yeah, totally. Oh, that's too juicy. Okay, that solves a problem that I was hoping to solve. Let's get the roll
From all of us?
Just the two of you, because you're the ones chasing Diana up
Okay.
the stairs.
Are you chasing into Fib?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am in pursuit.
While we wait for that roll, I will say, Larry, you are running up the stairs, and Diana does not go straight up. She ducks into a side hall, and oof, okay. You both lose sight of her as she ducks into a hallway and around a corner. You can get a pretty good idea of where she's going, but as you're like chasing after her and you see her go around this corner, Josefa walks out of a door and you run right into her.
That's Golden Girl, right?
Yep. Go ahead and roll your... No, I roll your Echo Stress. Sorry, I remembered how this works. Okay, go ahead and take 2 Echo Stress. I assume your protection covers that. Because you have like 6 protection.
I have like 6 protection for the situation.
Yeah. So you don't take any Echo Stress, but as you barrel into her and you both go like falling, your heart beats twice again, and you hear that scream as she just makes a little gasp and says, "What's happening?"
Diana's a villain. Also, I'm sorry.
Antiphe. You... Let's see, how do I want to handle this one? Okay. You round the corner where you saw Diana disappear to, and realize a split second too late that it is another lift, and you step with one foot directly into the hole that she had vacated where the lift is going up.
Do it again.
And that's going to be 2 fortune stress as you try to catch yourself.
Okay.
What stress does that put you at?
So okay.
Oh yeah, go
So
ahead.
I've taken 3. Is it 3 echo? That was 2 fortune.
This is 2 fortune stress.
Do I still have my previous fortune stress?
You haven't taken any fallout, have you? Nope, I don't remember you getting any fallout.
Yes.
think all the
I took
fallout
minor
has-
fallout.
What was the fallout you got?
Oh
I just can't
yeah,
remember.
you did. It was.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, you immediately made somebody mad, but I don't remember what the stat was
Oh
for.
yes, Diana. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. She caught me.
So
You
yes,
made
you cleared
someone
your fortune
pissy.
stress. So your total is 5. Right? Because you had
Okay.
the 3 echo.
Yeah, 3 and 2. Yeah.
So that is a 5. So I'm gonna just have this play out immediately. You step fully into this elevator and this lift, and it doesn't hurt you or anything, but you are just like falling briefly down this elevator or this lift like shaft and land at the bottom and are no, I don't like that. I changed my mind.
What's at the bottom of the Miyazaki elevator, Lauren?
This is about to be the wackiest
I
party
feel
life
like a
ever.
real asshole.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of why I don't like that. I changed my mind. So you double check the fortune fallout. Fortune fallout is always
Not to give myself more negatives, but did I actually get a named fallout, or was my fallout just getting into combat with that attendant? Just to make sure.
your fallout was that because you got fortune fallout, that was the attendant finding your rope on the window and cutting it.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was it. I just didn't know if it had a named one like everyone else's or anything, so.
No, they don't always. These are like suggestions. So if there's something more appropriate, then I can just, hard move and all that.
Gotcha.
Okay, I like this better. So you're gonna get the minor fortune fallout broken. What is a Oh, you don't have. I was thinking of. I'll be just a moment.
The trowel breaks. I keep on calling it a
Break
trowel.
his E tool. Break his E tool.
Excuse me.
I break the smoke can. No. You break their comb. Now they can't comb their hair anymore. What is wrong with me? I got puns on the mind. I don't know what it is.
I see.
What's the weird little honey wand thing that's got like a weird wooden beveled head? What is that thing? What is that thing for?
I don't know. It's
What's
just
it called?
Nobody
it's
knows what
for
that's
cereal
called.
commercials.
See, at least you
That's
know what
the
I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
talking
know
about.
exactly what you're talking about.
I'm gonna give you collateral. As you're like frantically trying to regain the upper hand in this situation. The next time you mark stress, a nearby ally marks the same amount.
Ooh.
Oh no.
And that's going to represent you just like desperately trying to like regain control of this situation.
It has gone sideways in a very
I
nasty
grab
way.
onto someone as I'm falling.
So Larry,
You hitch a ride on the oncoming train that's going to pass by.
Yes.
Larry, you have knocked over Josefa, and you said Diana is.
Yeah, I said, Diana is a villain. Also, I'm sorry.
Diana, she's never been anything but kind to me. What's going on?
She put her tubes in my friend's brain.
Hoops, what are you talking about? You sound crazy.
be fair, that is a pretty crazy thing to say.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I saw it happen. Also, she took us to a weird room and tried to brainwash us.
I love the way that Larry processes things. It's great.
Why don't you step into my room and we can talk this out? I'm sure there must be an explanation for this.
No time. Gotta go.
Can I kill Diana first?
Absolutely not. No one is dying here. This is
That's not true.
Oh man, no one's
Oh
dying
boy, do
here.
I
That's
have
for
news
sure.
for you. A few seconds later, you hear a weird squishy noise hit the ground.
Nobody's dying here. I tell
In
you
fact,
what.
as she says that, let's cut to Luther. Luther, you finished your bomb.
Yes. So what I've
Excellent.
done is I've mostly poured. I've thought this through as best as I could. I've mostly poured out this bottle. I want to say I've ripped off a couple chunks of my poncho, which does have a couple rips and a couple patches in it, and you couldn't know why. I've stuffed the bottle to make like a layer between the little alcohol that's left and it. I've taken apart as many bullets as I can and put as much gunpowder in as I can, and I've taken out the primers of the bullets as I could, and then stuffed that on top. And I'm just like, I think at this point my ideas are, I'm either gonna throw it at it, and I think about that and I'm like, wait, no, that's too dangerous. I think I'm gonna leave one bullet if I end up using a bunch of my resources here. I'm gonna leave one bullet, I'm gonna load it into my gun, and I'm just gonna set it. I can't get close to it, can I? Shit.
Not without rolling.
I'm going to clog the top with a little bit more cloth to make sure that it can't move, and I'm gonna roll the bottle to the engine. I'm gonna step towards the door, and I'm open the door and aim for the bottle and shoot the bottle.
All right, go ahead and roll your D8 with brutal.
This is some real Errol Flynn swashbuckling.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I got some MacGyvering going. I was like, I want to make this bomb work and make sense. I has to. Where is my there's my improvised bomb. My brutal bomb. I swear
right.
this 5 damage.
You roll this improvised bomb in a bottle over across the room to the engine. It is positioned underneath the core, and you take your shot. Are you like gonna try to get out of the door and use it for cover or something? Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You take your shot, and as you hear the explosion starting to happen, you duck through the door, and there is a uh there is a sound like a thunder strike, and the walls of the tower all around you ripple, and this humming, which you didn't even necessarily realize you've been hearing in the background this whole time, suddenly stops. And for a moment, there is peaceful silence. And then the engine starts up again. But this time, the humming is gone. And the walls are still. And then another sound. A mechanical clank as the lift reaches the top and Diana steps through a trick wall behind you.
Fuck.
Point of order. I didn't realize that the tower fallout was major fallout.
Mm-hmm.
And is that major mind fallout?
Yes.
Then my death follows close would activate on that and would have inflicted stress on the tower.
Oh shit, yeah, what tell me things.
So it would be D8 stress on whatever caused the fallout.
Oh.
That's what I was worried was going to happen when I first got the clouded fallout. I was worried I was going to blow up the tower just by thinking too hard about it.
Okay. Yes. First time you suffer major blood mind or fortune fallout, your death manifests to protect you and inflicts D8 stress. Okay, interesting. Diana's gonna have a bad time. Go ahead and roll your D8 then.
Okay. Let's see here.
Diana's not looking good, by the way. Like she looked
I
like
can't
she had a
imagine
heart
she's looking
attack.
good.
Like she looks like all the color drained out of her face after that. They're holy fuck.
I love the delayed reaction on it. Like, I know that normally this would have happened immediately, but honestly, I kind of love the delayed reaction of her entering the scene with Luther, imposing.
It's quite a bit more dramatic this way.
And then her head
I love
explodes in
this,
front of me.
So
True.
here's how this plays out. I love this. Okay. You slam the door behind you, back against the door. This explosion rattles, this strike of thunder. The walls ripple, the humming stops. The motor starts back up.
Replaced by tinnitus.
Diana steps out and she is seething. Her face is bleach white. Her arms are trembling. You can see these cords just like dangling from under her sleeves. And she steps forward with one hand out and reaches for your head as you are like backed against this door. And as she does so, you see a gleaming figure of this elven guardsman with his hand scythe step out from the elevator shaft, grab her by the shoulder, take the hand scythe, pull it across her throat, and pull her into the lift where she is never seen again.
Well, that's a new one for me. That's what I say. As I'm just like sitting on the floor, which at this point I could imagine hearing fire in the room, just crackling, just being like,
Yes.
oh, just sit for a moment. I'm just gonna sit for a moment.
Does Diana being dead affect my stupor at all?
So I was going to get to that before we realized that we had business to attend to. You, as you're sitting on the floor with Thorn lying in a stupor beside you, you hear that explosion and then the following thunder crack, and the walls ripple around you, and it's like all of a sudden it was as though it never happened, and you are fully with it again. You are no longer under her control. You are no longer suffering from this major fallout, as whatever was going on with this engine, which at this point only Luther knows about, its hold on the tower has been broken.
Cool.
And importantly, that also brings us to Larry, where we have some unexpected consequences. If you'll give me.
The lady explodes into blood in front of you. I just assume that anything that's going to happen, someone's just going to turn into a blood pinata and we're going to be drenched in blood. That's what I expect.
I mean, you're in the right headspace.
I mean.
Oh no, she Tarantino to me.
Now I've...
I don't know if Larry has necessarily ever met a witch before this.
I don't know.
He has now. As you and Josefa are having this conversation, where she is insisting that nothing is wrong, that no one's going to die, that there must be some misunderstanding, Diana has only ever been helpful. You hear an explosion above you. And then, second delayed, a sound like thunder, and the walls ripple. and Josefa's hair, that massive, bright red-orange hair, begins to lift from her shoulders, and her face contorts from the previous expression of concern, like pained concern, into pure fury. Her eyes harden, her jaw sets, and she whips her head around left and right, and she says, "Seems someone has succeeded where I failed."
I have time for you now.
Good. And she reaches out a hand to open the door to her room, and the hand is not a human hand. It is a sheath of bloody flesh that envelops the handle of the door, and then the door itself. And then the door is gone, and she is stepping into the room where this sheath of flesh is spreading across the floor. And she turns to you, and her face is almost melting, and her features start to spin, almost like a beautiful dance. And she says, "We have much to speak about."
It's you. And I think I would normally be terrified by what I'm seeing, but I mutter to myself, or maybe loud enough for her to hear, "I sense the heart within you."
I could sense it within you the moment I spotted that holy armor you bear. It beats deep within you, doesn't it?
I.
Tell me, what brings you into this place?
Revive the remission to bring the heart out.
She grins. Then my sisters and I have a gift for you. And she steps toward the window where there is, again, just a dark cavern outside. And with a gesture, she points, as much as her features will allow it, toward the exterior wall of the cavern, and the wall begins to sort of, the surface of it begins to melt like an oil slick, and you see a map begin to form. There's a station not very far from here. Station once known as Hang Station. You may find that in that place the Vermission still runs.
Really?
Where do you think they got the technology to run this place?
Thieves. Vandals.
I had come here to retrieve it from them. It is clear that I succumbed to their witchcraft. And she smiles wryly at her little joke.
So it is. But thankfully, whatever happened, you're free. And I'm glad.
And I and my coven are grateful. Find us. deep in the heart, if you ever reach Hang Station. And she steps out of the window and into the darkness.
I will do my best. Does the map stay, or is that?
Yeah, we'll say the map stays.
I stay with it. I likely copy it down in the journal because it's just built into the wall at this point. So
Yeah.
yeah. I remain for a while in this room.
All
You
right.
all are all. Is everybody sitting at this point? I think everyone's sitting at this point.
Everybody needs to just take a sit and just contemplate what their life is.
I'm sitting at the top of the tower. Raz is sitting next to Thorn. You're sitting in that room. Lauren's sitting at the bottom of an elevator shaft.
We're all vertically spread, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good stopping point. We can. We've got a couple of things to sort of sort out in terms of how your how you clean up your business here at the tower.
Mm-hmm.
But it's late. And I want to make sure that we get our beats picked for next session.
I was gonna say.
I also want to clear this up, just because I think everybody at some point or another has been slightly confused about how the beats are supposed to work. So I just want to super quick. So any beats that you completed today in this session, you can mark as completed. You can take your advancement from them. And you're going to pick your 2 beats that you're going to have active next session. Now, that can or cannot include a beat you didn't finish today. If you want it to, it can include that, but it doesn't have to. And if you do, it still counts toward your 2. So if you keep one from today, you would only pick 1 new one.
Yeah, but you can also change it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just really want somebody to have a cocktail fighting move or legendary beast named after me, so that's just gonna stay.
I really wanted it for you as well. I couldn't. This is part of the reason that Demathon was here, but I couldn't come up with a way to get him involved.
He's too drunk. You got him too drunk, Sean.
I got him too drunk.
I'm just saying. You're gonna see that there until it's not there. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's valid.
Well, we do. This is why it's co-op. I have to.
This is the problem with you going off on a solo mission, though. Who's going to name anything after something that no one saw you do?
You'll have to come back and perfectly describe it. Like, here's exactly what I did.
I mean, we know Demathon will listen, so
It's true.
Boy, do I got a tail.
But yeah, so go ahead and pick your advancements and pick your beats for next session. If you want to wait and look through your advancement options, that's fine. But if you can pick your beats for next session tonight, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
As far as my beats go, if you remember them, are both fulfilled, or is only the receive insight fulfilled?
The other one was the assist.
Active service.
Yeah, active service. This one's tough because you never actually figured out who she was until it was already done.
Yeah.
So it's like you accidentally performed an active service, but that doesn't feel that wasn't an active service for the witch. She just happened to benefit from it. So I'll say no.
Yeah, that's fair.
Flip side. Oh, you go ahead, finish.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think in that case it probably behooves me to pick another beat, because it seems like there would not be another NPC, especially with the fact that she's very specifically deeper in the heart now. Like, it seems like probably a good idea to shelf that one.
Yeah, it would be unlikely to encounter. I mean, it can happen. Like, this is the nature of the heart, is it can happen if you want it to happen, but it would probably make sense to pick a different beat.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is I can swap out the beats that I have now for ones that I did that I didn't take to get those advancements.
Yeah. Well, no. So you're picking what beats you want to have active for next session.
Okay.
So next session's beats. And I know I know we didn't really end up doing your
Yeah, that's fine.
protege there. I had ideas in mind, but the session got away from me.
Yeah, that's all right.
And I guess my point of order is, did they deserve it, Sean?
Oh yeah, I mean they were helping they were helping Diana do some real sinister shit. These
Some real sick shit.
by and large, these attendants were not like brainwashed.
Gotcha. Chuck's howdy.
Did I?
Tri- Hmm?
Oh, I was just gonna ask if I could count either of mine as having quite been completed yet.
I would grant you expose a powerful or wealthy person's true colors. Because it's clear at this point that Diana was up to some messed up stuff. I think this is something we're going to struggle with in general with this game, is just that we as a group move at a very slow pace. So there are going to be a lot of sessions where we don't get to beats, just because we spent a session and a half on this one landmark, which is, for the pace of this game, very slow. Which is not a complaint, by the way. Like, I think this was a great session. I don't know about y'all, but
I agree.
That's
Yeah.
very good. Had a great time. I hope everybody else did too, because that was rad, man. There's a lot in that session that I'm starting to see what I personally really like about this game, which is I like consequences that hurt but don't just kill you.
Yeah.
And that's what made that fun.
I was very happy with the session because I feel like my character's personality that I was trying to discover myself really emerged. Like, because I was thinking religious zealot, and it's somewhere between it's there's a lot of religious zealot in there, but it's also like some barbarian paladin energy and like just some sort of like just the awkwardness. Like there's definitely some I've enjoyed the awkward interactions, and I think that's definitely how he is 24/7.
I will say, by the way, Ari, if you're questioning whether you should keep your beats or not, I will say there is a character who I had in mind who was in this session who could fulfill that protege thing still, if it's something that you still want to do.
Yeah, I presume that would be Demathon, but I also...
It's not Demathon, no.
Oh, okay, cool.
And also, I'm glad. I hope that's a sign of you were paying attention, Raven. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. This is why I'm excited for this. Is I feel like we just get enraptured in storytelling, and it's fun and it's silly and it's intense, and I like it.
Would you say? Would you say that?
Good job, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good. Very good. Would you say this haven is very thoroughly damaged or sabotaged at this point?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it's not functioning as a haven at all.
Okay.
But, I mean, it is still, I guess, functioning as a haven. It remains to be seen what happens with this haven. This is one of the things that we'll need to take care of at the beginning of next session, because there are things, for example, related to antiphase beats that we didn't quite get to either, but that, suffice it to say, that Apiarist is going to be very interested in speaking to you about what happens next with this machine.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Well, in that case, I don't know how public we do How publicly do we really discuss dudes? Because I can send.
I mean, I need to know them. It doesn't make a difference to me one way or another if you want other people to know
Fair.
them or not. That's up to you.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm gonna leave. Sorry, Jackson, you had.
Oh, sure. One that calls out to me, and this is just sort of maybe kicking the tower while it's down, is the damage or sabotage a haven.
That's interesting. I mean, here's what I will say. It is not there yet, but you could definitely get there, and taking that beat will lead to a lot of drama at the beginning of next session. That's all I will say.
It sounds like it, because it seems like somebody else has something in mind for the haven that they want to do with it.
Well, I've got
Yeah.
win an unarmed brawl in a haven, and I'm keeping getting my name. I gotta get a cocktail, a fighting move, or a legendary beast named after me. I've gotta do it.
An unarmed brawl in a haven. Okay.
So I'm gonna keep my attract a protege, and I also added gain access to knowledge that someone tried to conceal.
I'm gonna have to really work to not make the entire next session also happen in this tower. This whole game is gonna be about this tower now.
This is how we are, Sean. We can never let anything go.
I'll tell all my friends, be like, this is a really cool game. It's a tower climbing game. Like,
Uh-huh.
You get to blow up the tower maybe at least twice.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really happy I didn't die, because I really thought I was gonna die. In all things considered, I really didn't think that could have gone way worse. I didn't really.
I mean, I'm fine now too. I took a lot of damage over the course of that, but I'm down 2 fallouts that I had, so I'm feeling pretty good.
I was gonna say, I was
It
like,
all worked out.
I like how consequences work in this game, and that damage really isn't damage. It's more just like the likelihood that something bad will happen.
Yeah, it's how much baggage do you want to carry with you at any given point?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
And boy, did being able to roll with mastery come in fucking clutch there. Holy shit. I really like that skill. That's also the other thing, is it really gets you in the mindset to try to engage with, like, consequences to your advantage. And I love when any game can do that, because in my opinion, your consequences are consequences that can be negative aspects, but having a positive aspect makes me be willing to endure bad things. So I really like that. I really liked that a lot.
Hey Sean, would you consider the witch's attempt to claim this engine back a recent event?
So that is, if you remember last session when you first got to the tower, you saw
Yes.
the like coven outside the tower. You never
Mhm.
actually met this witch once you were inside, but that's who that was. Is that witch who went into the tower to
Gotcha.
and had that big blow up fight with the coven about it.
I'm just curious if I could count this as having succeeded at a task that someone else has recently failed to achieve.
I mean, that's already you've already done the thing with like getting Diana out of there and like breaking the tower's hold, so that wouldn't be a next session thing, really.
Right.
I wish that I had taken. There's a couple beats that would have honestly worked. Witness an emissary of the heart, or let your curiosity lead you into danger. That one definitely would have been checked off from the brainwash room.
Mm-hmm. I'm amazed that just like worked out for y'all. By the way, every single one of you went into that room, and every single one of you were fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, I really thought I was gonna fucking die up there. I thought I was gonna be just on the ground, just like full, like, psychic energy forced onto the ground, rolling around, screaming. I really thought that's what was gonna happen to me.
We all think well on our feet.
Uh,
Also, I had the hot hand.
I also
And
meant to add. I forgot to add my little flourish of I definitely kissed the bottle before I rolled it on the ground.
Perfect.
So,
yeah, I mean,
'cause
if anybody was curious, Diana had a 10 total resistance. So that 8 was like, if she wasn't already halfway dead, that would have done it
Yeah.
anyway.
Dang. I'm glad to know that I kind of gleaned that just doing 6 damage area of effect is in this system fairly devastating.
It's quite strong.
I'm glad that that's the case.
Yeah.
Once
For
per
sure.
session.
Yeah, it's good for once per session to just be
Yeah.
able to be like, fuck this room.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'll choose life.
it was boiling in me. I was just like, when do I do it? When do I do it? When do I do it? And then finally, when the attendance came out, I was like, finally.
I love this thing that we're establishing of Roz's death just whisking people into the ether.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
that was
It's even more like a stand.
Yeah.
You really did end up with the JoJo stand, and it's great. You did just what the hell?
Yeah, apparently you're a JoJo character, and jeez.
This is a bit of a JoJo. This is a bit of a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure we have going on, anyways. With
I feel that vibe.
An ambulating beekeeper outfit, a man who's a living train, and just a cowboy.
Yeah. Somebody's got to have the stand that is just guns sometimes.
So
I can't believe you had the death on 2 legs thing in your mind and you didn't tell me.
I wanted it to be a sweet reveal.
Surprise. Yeah, and it was the sweetest reveal if it were ever. Oh man.
I'll ease off on the whole, because Sean, I appreciate your foreboding. Like, there's going to be a lot of drama at the beginning of next session. So a part of me wanted to lean into it, but I'll ease off that pedal.
That's fair. I mean, I'm down either way. I love the drama that would happen, but also I would love to leave this tower at some point in this game.
I'm enjoying the tower. So
I mean, I like
tower,
this tower.
Sean.
I clearly like this tower. So
yeah.
But yeah, no. I also want to say, Lauren, we didn't discuss your other beat, but you definitely rescued this NPC, this apiarist. They were in danger. Whether they like,
gotcha.
they didn't intimate as much really, but like I was trying to sort of hint at that with Diana's little rant about her like knowing what they're doing. Like I was trying to hint at that she knows more about what that apiarist was up to than they realized.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression.
So you can mark that one as done also.
So I can mark both.
Yep. Lauren got Anthony got the first major advancement of this game, by the way, through just like good timing with that major beat.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. I was thinking of maybe taking a major one, but I was like, nah, I'll keep doing a minor. I think I'd do one more minor. I feel like a lot of those majors feel like the kind of thing that you need to have at least a few sessions under your belt to get an idea of where you could even start teasing towards them. So nice, well done.
Yeah,
that was expose a powerful or wealthy person's true colors.
Wow, yeah. I think I've got. I think we're gonna pick that one, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Go ahead.
The first one I'll be really leaning into is terrify or intrigue an NPC with your obsession.
Ooh, okay.
A
Ooh.
good one.
I feel like that's gonna
Yeah,
be
I like
easy.
that one.
That's gonna be
I almost took a heart song just because of that one.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've already been rolling out as kind of an obsessive person, so it's just turning up that dial by 1. And then the other one is communicate with something of the heart.
Okay, sick. I love that. Man, I hope. Well, I'm not gonna put my thumb on the scale, but I really hope that can be what I have in mind. I have a specific thing in mind that I would love for that to be.
Yeah. As an aside, I was gonna mention this at some point. I've come up with the reason why someone who loves the heart so much takes echo protection, because it's conflicting. I was really working to reconcile that, and the answer is because looking to dive as deep as possible. Like the deeper you are in the heart, the more you're taken and swayed by it.
Mhm.
So it's the idea of you have to build up your own protection to be able to dive, to be able to reach the heart effectively. So
Yeah.
that's sort of the idea.
I will say. Okay.
I just have a couple general questions. Are all of these beats like one-time things? Like if
Yes.
you do one, you can't select it again later?
Correct.
Okay, cool. And does completing a major one just mean that you get to like pick another major ability?
Yep, it means you get to take a major ability instead of a minor one.
Yep.
Cool.
I will say also, and definitely if you can pick out your next session beats, that'll be helpful. I will say I don't obviously recommend taking one right now, but now that we've got a couple sessions in our belt and we're starting to get a better grasp on our characters and how the game works, you might want to take a look at the Zenith beats for your calling. Again, you're not going to be taking them right now, but you might want to just sort of familiarize yourself with what they are, and sort of have them in the back of your mind as you're picking beats as to like which direction your character is leaning.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at those.
Not a doubt in my mind, I already know.
And Lauren, I know we've been sort of workshopping a lot of your calling, so if you have a different Zenith beat in mind at any point, just let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I'll think about it. I like both of these.
Nice.
One is very drastic.
Zenith
So,
beats in general are very
see.
drastic.
Yeah, because doesn't that effectively unlock a Zenith ability, which does
Yes,
something
so
really, really
yeah, that's
cool?
the other thing, is that you want to probably look at some point at your Zenith abilities as well, because basically for most Zenith abilities, what happens is you accomplish your Zenith beat, and then your Zenith ability pretty much activates, and that is the end of your character's story.
So the Zenith beat would be like probably like a last session kind of thing.
Either last session or like close to the end. Like basically the game is going to be wrapping up when people start dying or Zenith beats start triggering.
Yeah, there are certain Zenith beats that you can like have like a much greater ability level for a few sessions, and then your character's like story is over.
Yeah. And we can cross that bridge when we come to it if we get to a point where we're like, well, we still feel like we've got a few sessions, but like, you know, A has died or B is like Zenith themselves out of the story, and you know, we can work on what that means for you as a player when we get there, but we don't have to worry about that yet.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, otherwise, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, I think that's the chime that sounds every time that it's time for Isaac to end the stream.
But before I end the stream, I have a little I have a little fun new ritual we start now. And chat, you can get in on this. Again, thank you all for listening. I'm glad we had it seemed like a very enraptured audience. I appreciate you guys. It's funny. I think we're at the point where we're like, we'll just have to talk to chat between scenes. And I think what we've just come to is, hey, chat, we'll talk to you in chat. That's just how we're gonna do that.
That's how it's worked out, honestly, is that like
So we are paying attention. We'll chat with you just in chat. Just know we're just gonna be focused on the story. And if you guys are okay with that, I'm just fine to keep doing that. So and I'm glad you guys are listening. I hope you had a good time. But we're now gonna generate a picture. So chat, you can involve yourself in this too. I'll go on Bing and I'll type something in. We'll make something, and you guys just give me a couple phrases in chat. And everybody here, if we want to kind of generate the creative juices, what do you want to see a picture made of based on what we have? You can be based on what we've done or completely random for whatever you want. So feel free to get in here, chat. I'll give it like about a minute or so. Does anybody here want to add anything? I could just start with being in a giant tower.
yeah, I mean, good luck pulling for stuff from the game that Bing will allow. Tower is a word that it'll allow.
Mhm.
I mean, we could just generate an image of you throwing someone out a window.
Yeah, as long as you don't use the word kick, it'll probably allow that.
Yeah, that's what's funny is being inside of a giant tower.
Defenestrating someone from him.
Yeah, I was gonna say throwing someone off the top of a tall tower. I don't think like because it's usually off of like keywords. It's usually not context sensitive enough to reject something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice use of defenestration.
And having some.
you.
How about someone thrown from its top? Anything
What?
else you want to add to that?
He refuses to just rewrite the first clause.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh shit. No. Well, it's too late now. Did chat want to add anything? Did anybody else want to add anything to that?
We gotta add a little bit more. That's not enough juice on that egg.
I mean, we know there's a
And
witch
the audience
now.
applauses.
And the audience applauses.
And the judges give it 10s across the board.
But you do not get a special name for that ability.
But there.
If a man is thrown from the window and no one is there to write it down, did it even really happen?
All right. Being in a giant tower and having someone thrown from its top while the audience applauses, but you are given no special name as reward.
Good luck,
This is gonna be a good image.
Applauses.
Yeah.
And
Good luck,
everybody, can we add and everybody does?
No,
Well,
there's
it might
no
not
way Bing
take
will allow
that, unfortunately. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
And everyone dies.
Surely not dies. I mean, it's
Nope,
not kills.
surely
I
not.
guess.
I don't think so. It definitely did not like that. Nope, but it took it. Yep, I took out and everyone dies, and it took it. So we'll let that cook, everyone. So yeah, if you want to see, if you want to see that image, stick around to the very end. We usually do also a bit of closing bit, and we do right after every stream. So that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. Just everybody out there, make sure to go lock your doors and windows because it is lunchtime for vampires. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. I hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. If you're able to join the live show, thank you for stopping by and chatting and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to go back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this and you want to see more of what we're up to, I recommend scrolling down below and following or clicking any of the links. There's a link to an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, and a Discord. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to. And just generally, you come hang out with the rest of the community there. It's a good time on the Discord. Speaking of which, a shout out to our community there and everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience, and we appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure to also hashtag it with MCCanary or link it back to the stream so people can find more of the good stuff we do here. And as always, if you want to see the stream grow, you gotta let people know. I appreciate it that people are talking about the stream, and it's really cool that people are doing that. So feel free to share the stream. It's really awesome that you guys are doing that. And if you want to be cool, talk about us. Talk about us. Talk about us. And as always, a huge thank you to Moat Shrimp and all of our supporters on Patreon and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream as well as take on more projects, and the stream would not be made possible without viewers like you, so we thank you. If you want to see your name added to this list, as well as a couple of the benefits you could get, you could always subscribe directly on Twitch or check out the Patreon page. It'll show you everything that you can get, and any amount is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. And thank you to our mods who do a wonderful job of holding back the robot army and preventing becoming famous. And thank you, Sean, for GMing and everybody else for playing. I had a great time. That was rad. Everybody did great. All thumbs. All thumbs.
Yes. Great session.
I want to give it 3 thumbs, but I only got 2 thumbs. Well, did anybody have any housekeeping?
Hail Stan.
Hail Stan.
Hail Stan, if you're enjoying this this stream, then like check out Heart: The City Beneath. It's the game that we're playing. It's a good time.
Yeah. And also check out Goblin Entertainment. You can find what everyone's been up to in there. All of our channels are there, and everything that you guys have done and everything else that you've been up to. So you can see it there, and you can find the rest of my stuff here. Each one. If I spell it right, I don't spell it right sometimes. I misspelled. I don't remember where. This is a quick anecdote. I don't remember where I saw this, but I misspelled my name somewhere that I just went, I'm just gonna keep it. I don't even remember where, and I think it was on a stream. I misspelled my fucking name.
Okay, you misspelled your name just the other day when you were doing your outro and you were trying to type MCCanary into the like Twitch chat and you typed McCary or something.
And I want to
Old
maintain.
habits die hard.
I want to clarify this. When I say I misspelled my name, I misspelled my name ISSAC somewhere.
Oh my goodness. That's not even a typo. That's actually misspelled.
Yeah. But it's fine. Check out the
The
rest of
boy
my
is
stuff.
ravaged with the dyslexia.
You can find the rest of my stuff here. You can find everything that I post to. I have a VOD channel for the Twitch, as well as a YouTube for my own videos, an art station for my art, and a SoundCloud for my music. So go check everybody out. In Goblin Entertainment. Alright. That's it. That's everything. We'll go ahead and head over to Darren. He's a wizard. He's playing Dark and Darker.
You like Darren?
He's a good boy. We all love him. I'm sure he would be happy to find out that we were in our dungeon of our own. So, stick around for that. He's a great guy. Otherwise, have a good evening. Take it easy. I'm not going to keep track of this anymore, so I'm just going to ask everybody, is there anything you guys would like to tell the audience?
Ippity doo.
Yeah? Yeah? I just assumed. I was like, I mean, I'm fine doing that. I was like, we don't have the questions like we do with the Powered by the Apocalypse, so I always love those questions. Yeah. Is everybody liking this picture? This is exactly what happened today. I like this picture. Hey, look, I wasn't the only one climbing the tower. Actually, I was the one on the side there. Just... Thank you.